Ow! Hey, what's happening, guys? I'm here. I know, I'm a little late. It happens. It definitely happens. What is happening, guys? God, man, I got so many tabs open on this damn laptop. It's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. But yeah, guys, I'm here. Sorry. I was trying to make sure I had everything like uploaded and ready to go. I was like, oh, yeah. After setting everything up, it's like, yeah, I should probably make sure I got everything going good and everything. So I am here. I am ready to go, ready to have a drink. Come on. Why'd you do that? Hold on a sec. Sorry, this stupid thing. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. All right, we're good. We're golden. What is going on? Who's out there? What's going on, everybody? How's your Friday? Yay, as someone say, because it is Friday. Okay, what's going on? Hey, you guys are already having like conversation. What's going on? All right. Let's see. All right. Nah, what do you think of Sting's role? What? You guys are already having like a conversation. I know. I'm here, Jose. It's okay. Jose took a smoke break. I'm sure that's what happened, right? Right? I know, right? Sorry, it happens. It's okay. It's okay. It happens, guys. Happy Friday, Ryan. How's it going, buddy? I know. Look at that. You saw that, huh? Yep. Got rid of the chin pubes. I was like, you know what? I was kind of tired of it. I was like, because you know what I do? Okay, so I'm kind of dumb, guys, because we're in a pandemic. And I remember right at the beginning of the pandemic, they always say, don't touch your face. Don't touch your face. I'm a face toucher. I'm one of those guys. You probably have seen it in the videos and stuff like that where I do touch. And if I, of course, when I have something right there, I'm like constantly going like stroking the goatee and stuff like that. And you know what? After like today, I woke up because like I told you guys, I wasn't working today, like daytime. And I was like, you know what? I'm just kind of tired of it. I don't know. I just keep on. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just shave it off and get that butt chin back out there, revealed. Here we go. Yes. I know. I'm sorry, Jose. I don't know how I could forgive. I don't know how you could forgive me, but yeah. What's going on, Jason? How you doing, buddy? But yeah, I was just like, hey, there's Mama Film Junkee. See, she's good, guys. Don't worry. She's still a little under the weather, but she's pulling through. She's still, just getting over the, a little bit. Mr. Morris, what's up, buddy? Compton, how you doing? Whoa, so much here. Hey, Brandon, what's up? All right. Yeah, that's right. I got I changed it up, put some Mondo right there. I haven't seen the new episode, even though I was off today. I didn't watch the new episode. Yeah, I know. I was too busy like handling other crap. So I didn't watch the new episode. I heard it's good, just like the other one. And yep, there you go. Mama Film Junkie. Hopefully she's doing good. What's going on, Chand? How you doing? That's right. I mean, that's why we have to get, I want to, one of these days, I'm going to interview Mr. Mr. Ben Affleck and be like, hey, let's compare chins. I'm just saying, if he needs a chin double, I'm the guy to do it, right? Yo, you got a Jack and Coke Friday. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Not Compton. It's Compton 70s. Yes, definitely not. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Jack and Coke. What's going on, Carlos? How you doing? So hyped for Patty Jenkins' Star Wars flick. Yeah, so am I, actually. It's going to be interesting to see what she does with that. Go Patty. What's going on, Ben? How you doing? That's right, William, Mr. Powell. Got to show the butt chin. Yeah, I know. Like I said, it's just, I just got tired of it. I was like, I just like tired of, and then you try to like, you always got to like mess with it, trim it and all this stuff. And then I felt like it was uneven sometimes. And I was like, you know what? Just get rid of it. Done. Just get rid of it. So it is no longer there. So now you guys get to see my bare ass chin. That's right. My bare ass chin. Luckily, I'm not a fan of Patty. Of course, you're not. Fourth, I would not expect anything less from you. Hey, Mr. Everett, what's going on? Rick did another amazing episode. That's right. Was it Rick? Yeah, Mr. Rick. It was his time to do that. it's his time to. You know what? When it comes to him, like directing these Mandalorian episodes, I mean, he's done a fantastic job, and it just makes every time I'm like, what could that Flash movie be like? What could it have been like? I'm just saying, what could it have been like? Got Mr. Sinfinity right here laughing it up. What's up? Lying? What? What's wrong with my lying? Is there something wrong with the lying? I was trying to, what? It's the Vodka Stream Lounge, Of course it's going to be. I did light up that right there. I didn't do that last time, but I figured I should light it up a little bit more, light up the shelf right here of all the literature and the little statues that I have, the collection of statues that I have. Why not? All right. So you guys are crazy. What's going on, Danny? How you doing, buddy? Somebody made a donation. I even fucking Jay. What's up, Dave? I work evenings now. I haven't been able to join the live streams anymore. Yeah, you've been absent. Yeah. Well, cheers, buddy, and cheers to all of you guys. Appreciate the donation. Got that vodka, that frosty cold vodka right out of the fridge. Not the fridge, the freezer. Goes down smooth. What's going on, Hidden Shadows? How you doing? Where's my Christmas tree? well, Jose, I smoked it. Just kidding. No, I don't have a Christmas tree. Yeah, bah humbug. I don't know. Yeah, I never put up a Christmas tree. I never do. I'm just like, my mom, I'm sure, she's going to have the Christmas tree. I always spend Christmas at my mom's, and, so, I just don't really see the point. So I never put up my own Christmas tree. So yeah, I'm a little bit of a bah humbug right there. So what can I say? Yeah. So I know it'd probably be a good spot, like right here. I probably should get like a small one that's like right here. There seems to be like a blank space right here that I should put something like right there. Maybe. I don't know. The sequel for Enchanted. I know. When I saw that, Eric, I immediately thought of you. Plus, Amy Adams has a shower scene. What? It's Last Action Hero for yeah. I know. I need to watch it. I never watched Enchanted. Just never captured my attention. But I guess I should do it. There's a shower scene in a Disney movie. I don't know if it's okay. Maybe you're talking about something else. But Mr. Scott McClellan, you will be visited by 3 spirits. I know. I'm going to be Scrooged. Watch. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to be Scrooged, man. Eesh. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But by the way, Scrooged, one of the best all-time Christmas movies. Can we all agree on that one? I think we all can. I think we definitely all can. But yeah, I know. I've watched 2 Christmas movies already. I watched Lethal Weapon, all with Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon and Fat Man. Because obviously you guys saw my little quick review, my little first reaction quick review of Fat Man. And then, of course, I had the Nelms brothers on here last week, which that was awesome. And I never watched Enchanted. No, never. I'm not a big, huge Disney guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. I like the Star Wars. Well, obviously, they bought those fucking products. But when it comes to, I've never really been a huge Disney guy. I mean, I like the Santa Claus. That's like one of my top favorite. Isn't that also Disney? That's also Disney. Yeah. I mean, that's up there in my top 5 Christmas movies. But I just never, when it comes to like a lot of Disney stuff, like, growing up, we had Disney movies in the VHS. You know how they had those big, huge fucking plastic VHS tape holders that you just opened up, that Disney would always have, that were like they look like fucking, hardback books, hard copies of books, They always had those. Like, we had those, but I just never was like into it. I was never really into Disney movies. What can I say? Dave, do you think DC survive outside Warner? And probably not. Well, they would, but you took Scott took his mom to see Enchanted. There you go. But yeah, apparently a sequel is coming out. That was one of the things. You know what's funny? Like, I did a 40 fucking minute video of all the Disney Investor Day, and I left out I left out the regular movies that they have, like Enchanted sequel, Sister Act 3, Hocus Pocus 2, and other movies that they were doing. I didn't even talk about Black Widow or Blade or anything like that. I mean, there was so much that was released yesterday. I was kind of overwhelmed. Like, I'm like, how much am I going to talk about with this? And I mean, if you guys watched the video, hopefully you did. I mean, there was like, I mean, it was seriously like, it was a 40-minute video, and I didn't even cover all of it. I was mainly covering Star Wars, MCU, but then I didn't even talk about Black Widow because, yeah, how about that? I forgot that Black Widow is actually still coming out. I don't know about you guys, but I have like zero hype for Black Widow. I'll still watch it, but I just don't have hype for it. I mean, I think the only hype that I have for it is the fact that Florence pew 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 pew, she's gonna be taking over Black Widow. That's just me right there. Just that's all I'm like. That's the only thing I'm really looking forward to is seeing that she's taking over. It's like, yeah, Scarlett had her time, but now we're gonna have Miss Pew 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 Pew, which I can never say her last name without saying it like that. I always say her name like that. So. I wonder, she probably gets that a lot too. Florence, pew, 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 pew. It's like, oh man, she probably gets sick of that. Hopefully she never stars in a Star Wars movie because she'll never hear the end of that. But anyways, guys, appreciate you guys clicking in. And then, of course, let's see, make sure you, if you want to become part of the Film Junkee Patreon, of course, I added the $1 tier for just like, $1 can go a long way. Feel like helping out the pirate ship a little bit with just $1. I made a joke on the last. I don't know if I posted that video yet, but if you have $1, just throw it at me. I'm like a stripper. Just throw $1 at me. I'm twirling around the pole, and you can just take those dollar bills and just throw it at me and everything like that. Yeah, that's right. I'm going there, guys. I'm going there. And then, of course, you got the $3 and the $6 one right there. And then, of course, the Film Junkee Closet. Film Junkee Closet where, there, of course, you got the Exclusivo. You got God Ham. You got the Film Junkee Slate. You got Puddin'. You got Metalhead. You got the Vodka Stream. And then, of course, the newly added Keaton shirt. The newly added Keaton products, I should say, which, just has Keaton, but it has that awesome 89 Batman logo with the 3-spike tail. That I just love so much. I don't know why. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I just love that logo. I just really love that logo. There's just something about it. That just really looks awesome. And it was never seen again. That's right. Never seen again. And it wasn't even on the cover of any of all that. And then don't forget, guys, tomorrow night, if you guys want to watch, speaking of Keaton Batman, I'm going to actually now watch my third, of course, Christmas movie of the Christmas season. I'm going to watch Batman Returns tomorrow night. Live stream it. We're going to live watch Batman Returns. Most likely it's going to be at the same time, same bat channel. I'm going to watch it probably about 8 o'clock. But if I change anything, I'll let you guys know. It might be 7 o'clock. Maybe I'll start it earlier. But yeah, let's do a live watch of Batman Returns tomorrow. And that'll be a lot of fun. So, it's been a bit since I've watched that movie, and you know what? I'm going to have a lot of jokes about Batman Returns. That's for damn sure. And of course, I'll look up a drinking game for Batman Returns. And before everybody says it, I'm not going to die because I will not be drinking vodka. Yeah, anytime I do a live watch, I'm not going to be drinking hard alcohol. I'll be drinking a beer. So when we play a drinking game, I will not fucking die. Ooh, I should do a reindeer games live watch, maybe, because you know what? The last time it's been years since I've watched reindeer games. Okay, I thought about maybe doing a Die Hard one because yes, that is a Christmas movie. But maybe but I've seen Die Hard so many times because it's one of the greatest movies ever fucking made. So maybe I will do reindeer games because I remember it, but I don't because it's just been years since I've seen it. Ben Affleck, Charlize Theron, Gary Sinise. Come on, maybe I will. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be actually pretty fun. I should probably get I don't know. one of these times I should probably get one of these dudes on the panel or somebody watch it with me. I don't know. Scott, you available? Watch some reindeer games? That'd be hilarious. But yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll see what happens. Anyways, so much to talk about, guys. There is so much to talk about tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if this vodka stream goes to fucking 4 hours. I just wouldn't be surprised with the streaming wars that are happening and the directors that are pissed off about it. And then just right now, I mean, we had the Justice League reshoots investigation just wrapped up, and Ray Fisher made a comment about it, all that stuff. So, I mean, it's everything's pretty much, it's pretty insane what's happening right now. It's pretty insane. And it's going to be, of course, awesome to hear everybody else's take on it. But I'll get the pop cultured corner guys in here. We'll talk about it. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit too. And then, of course, when the panel comes on, we'll get really in depth into it. So, but yeah, there's just too much. There's just so much to talk about. Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. Yes. You know what? Phantom's not a bad flick. I mean, come on. It's not a bad, see how I said that? It's not a bad flick for Ben Affleck. Yeah, it's not a bad, isn't Rose McGowan? Rose McGowan's in that movie, right? Isn't she? Rose McGowan? I saw that movie a long time ago too. You know, it's just one of those, you know, you got visitors in a small town and then creepy shit happens. That's a movie to watch. I mean, I guess during Halloween or something like that. So, all right. But yeah, so there's just so much to talk about. I mean, I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do a whole video about it too. About, you know, you got Nolan, you got Denis Villeneuve. I always say his name wrong. You know me. But and he's coming out, and it's just like, it's just weird. And then Judd Apatow apparently said that. It's just like, guys, it's like this is where it was heading. And it's so funny because people are making it seem like the movie theaters aren't going to have these movies. Like they aren't gonna, you're not gonna be able to go to the actual movie theater to watch these movies. That's what I don't understand. They're making it seem like it's all exclusively and just everything's going to streaming, you know? But it's like, it's going to both, guys. It's going to both. You're making it seem like it's not going to movie theaters at all. That's what I don't understand about some of this. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, I get it. It's such a weird, you know, it's such a weird thing because, I mean, I get it. You guys know me. I mean, I'm having withdrawals. I've only seen like, I don't know, 4 or 5 movies in the movie theater this year, maybe less. I don't know. I'm trying to remember because I saw Tenet, but I had to drive an hour and a half to San Diego County just to see Tenet. And then I remember I saw Ben Affleck's movie, The Way Back, which was great. And then I'm trying to remember what I saw before that. I'm like, I'll have to like go back to my my library and see my Film Junkie library to see like what exactly I was like watching, what I watched, you know, before this pandemic hit. I don't think, maybe I only went to the movies like 3 times. I don't know. I don't think the issue was how the movies were going to come date on. You don't think it was that? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know what it is, guys? I mean, I hate to say it, but you know what it is? Yeah, I think it's just because, like, you know, maybe some of these guys are feeling like they're losing like their power or their oomph. Birds of Prey. There you go. Thank you, guys. I mean, I don't want to say that Birds of Prey was forgettable. Anyways, but yeah, The Gentleman. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Morris, you're right there. So I was right. I did saw The Gentleman, saw Birds of Prey, and then saw the Way Back, and then of course Tenet. So yeah, about 4. I was like trying to remember. Wasn't Metallica proven right? What did Metallica? They're proven right. I appreciate it there, Movie Watchman. Yeah, it's the film. It's the Vodka Stream Lounge. Hold on a sec, guys. I forgot to get my charger from my laptop, so I'll be right back. Hold on. Whoa, what happened? Whoop. All right, I'm back. Don't worry. Wait, did something just go down? Oh, shit. My light went out. How did that happen? What the hell? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, did I bump that? Shit. Hold on a sec, guys. Hold on. What the fuck? See, already having technical difficulties right now. Sorry about that. Yeah, when I unplugged my my charger, I ended up unplugging my fucking light right there. So hold on. So professional, aren't I? Jesus Christ. I need a crew. That's what happens. Uh-oh. See? Oh, we got Wonder Meg here. I mean, yeah, I know. I know, seriously. Like when I had her, like, you know, come in and read some questions. She's just like, you know, hey, let's go to Wonder Meg and see what's going on there. Anyways, I know. Pee break. Anybody have a pee break? All right, we're good. Take a pee. We're all good. All right, let's go ahead and invite my guests in. They are now, of course, backstage, and we'll get them in here. Let me set up the tweet. Boop. All right, so here we go. And during the stream. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Boop. All right. Jeez. All right. All right, here we go. All right, we got Mr. Ty and we got Mr. Big Drip. What's going on, guys? What is happening?
Oh, man.
You guys are here.
How's everything going?
Oh, it's going, man. How you guys doing?
Yeah. I'm doing good.
Good.
I like right. I like the shave.
You like the shave? I know. I mean,
I
it
like
just
the
happened
shave
today. Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's just I got tired of it. I was like, you know what? I don't need pubes on my face anymore. It's time to just show off that butt chin now, you know, reveal it, get it out there again.
The greatest disappointment is not having a beard. I mean, it honestly just, it tortures my soul on a regular basis. And I can't get something. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I know. It's funny too, because, you know, my dad has a mustache, you know, he's, you know, full blood Mexican. He's got that mustache. He's always had it. I mean, there was one time I remember when I was younger where he shaved it, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? Who's this man in my house? But like, he's always had it. And there was one time where I tried to do the mustache goatee, and I was like, I can't stand this. I'm like, how do you do it? And he's just like, get used to it, man. And I'm like, I couldn't. I try to do it, and I just don't know how you do that. It's like him and my two uncles, they've always had mustaches. And I've always said, I'm like, you guys should start a little mariachi band. Come on, guys. And I'm just like, I don't know how you guys pull off the mustache thing. I'm like, it's just not for me. I just can't do it. And then, you know, I do the goatee thing, you know, but then after a while, I just get tired of it. But anyways, what's happening, guys? How you guys doing tonight? What do you guys drinking anything? What's going on?
I got some Snap.
What's up?
I got Snapple apple.
You said you got some
apple.
You got Snapple apple? What's going on? Oh, okay. What about you, Ty? Yep.
Oh yeah. I'm always a couple deep. So, you know,
there you go.
I figured I'd go with the namesake.
The namesake? Oh, you got some vodka. There you go.
Yeah. Of course. That's what
I like to hear.
But I really appreciate you having us on tonight. You know, it means a lot to me, and we're super excited. Yesterday was fucking outrageous.
Yeah, yesterday definitely was, and we'll talk about that. But you know, I figured, you guys invited me on. We had a good conversation, so I was like, you know what? Let's get these guys on the. I mean, I think we even teased it a little bit on your channel. Which guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Pop Culture channel, do so. The link is provided down below. Check it out. These guys are doing content like crazy, and
yes, we are.
it's all. Whoop, let me hit the videos button. There you go. There's all the videos right there, covering everything. You guys had Sean O'Connell. You had Ray Porter on. I mean, you guys are getting some good interviews right there. I mean, I didn't watch the O'Connell interview. How was that? That was probably pretty good.
Yeah, it was really fun. We got to talk to him. I mean, we're only 4 months in. It's like
4 months in, huh?
So the progression, you know what I mean? The progression is there. We've been planning it for, a year or so before that. But Sean was really quick to say yes and come in on our little DC celebration. We got to talk to him about his book, and that it's now coming out on March 1st, I believe. And he gave us, he's really knowledgeable. He's a really good guy. I love talking to him.
Yeah,
absolutely. Sean was definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah, not better than me though, right? I'm just kidding. No,
no,
by no means.
no. I'm kidding. I love Sean. When I did the Film Junkee Live on Wednesday, I talked about Patty Jenkins and the interview that she had with him, and then he got the exclusive of course
Exclusivo
of course Patty Jenkins, kind of throwing the Justice League under the bus, which was kind of nice. We're always wondering what these other directors were thinking about when it came to the theatrical version of Justice League. I'm kind of curious to hear what anybody else has to say about it now that things are happening. I mean, obviously the reshoots investigation has concluded, which we found out just mere hours ago. I don't know if you guys saw that. What are your guys' thoughts about that?
I think so. Me personally, I think I've always believed Ray in what he was saying. I think he doesn't have a reason to lie. I don't think he falsified any of his claims, and I just think it was a matter of time until the other shoe dropped and Warner Brothers investigated. I'm glad they did. I'm hoping that it will come out. Some punishment will come out of this for Joss, or maybe. I mean, I liked Joss. I really did. I've always loved his work. Firefly, Avengers. I can't believe that shit. I really can't.
Yeah, it can be hard to believe because when you respect and like these guys' work. I mean, when it came to I didn't really get into Firefly. I didn't really get into Buffy. I mean, the Buffy I got into was the original movie. Never got into the show, but the original movie. I really got it. I love that movie. I mean, even to this day, I don't care that that it was his baby. You could separate, of course, the man from the whatever they create. That whole thing. The artist from the art. I guess you could say. Yeah. Same thing with Jeff Johns. I mean, I've heard bad things about him, but at the same time, I have some of his books right here. I mean, geez, there's just it's just the way it is. I'm not going to throw them out. Yeah. You could separate all that. And I think with Whedon, I mean, we already kind of saw that he already stepped down from his show, The Nevers, and
from the other show, yeah.
That wasn't just him going, oh man, it's what, I'm just gonna take a break. But no, they forced him to step down for sure,
right?
And so we already saw that. Now it's now we got to wonder who is going to be next. I don't suspect them to announce anything with Jeff Johns until after Wonder Woman 84 because they're trying to fucking push that thing forward. They don't want I mean, one of the things that even them releasing this on a Friday evening was almost suspicious to me too, because it's okay, usually you're gonna announce this, you're gonna put out a press release on Friday evening. This is something that should be Monday morning news or during the week. But I think that's what Warner Media is trying to like balance is like, okay, so we have this new movie coming out. We just made this crazy announcement that just totally flipped the movie industry on its fucking head. And now we have this investigation and it's like, Disney just fucking, just whipped their dick out at everybody and said, look at this. It's huge.
Yeah, and it's a big dick too.
It's a really big dick. A big fucking dick. It's a big name dick. And I know. And then they're just like, but so I'm kind of wondering, like, the timing of it is kind of, it's a little suspicious, but I'm glad that it's going through. And it sounds like Fisher is pretty satisfied with what happened and everything. So yeah, it's just it's absolutely crazy.
I went on record when we first started the show, this was still fresh and new, Ray's claims. And I went on record as saying as being much, much, much more skeptical with the whole fucking thing. Yeah. I have a really hard time taking millionaires and famous people seriously. Sorry. I do. Don't tell me he's not famous. Don't tell me he's not famous.
He's not. He's famous. I mean, as far as famous people go, though, he's.
I get it. He's a little bottom tier, but he's still Mr. Hollywood as far as I'm concerned, right? He's in a $200 million budget movie. And I'm sorry, I have a hard time taking these people serious. When me and him first had discussed it, my input was, it was, all poor me. Why am I not getting special treatment anymore? Everybody feel bad for me. Let me go on Twitter. But things have changed as time went on. I got some new perspective and, heard some things about Whedon that I hadn't heard at that time. So my viewpoint has changed a little bit, but the sympathy, to be perfectly honest, really isn't there. Sorry. We go, us regular people go through that on a everyday, multiple times a day basis,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, everybody's going to have their perspective on it and everything like that. And that's what I like about you two is you guys have a lot of conflicting perspectives sometimes. And that's what I wanted to actually ask you. Like, how did you guys are you guys, I mean, I know sometimes you guys are together and you're doing the show, your guys' shows and, podcasts or whatever. But when I talked to you, it was you guys are separate. And right now you guys are separate, but you guys are pretty, live pretty close to each other, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And you guys are in Boston, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the way Boston works.
Give me the origin story of pop cultured corn.
I love
that. So Justice is one of my if not like my best friend, and part of being friends isn't always agreeing on everything, right? So I think I tell him all the time that he should have a little bit more empathy, and he tells me all the time that I should have a little bit more patience. So we balance each other out pretty well, and I asked him to do this with me because he won't just like agree with me. And he'll butt heads with me. He might not always be right. I'm not always right. But together, we have good conversations. And the idea birthed for me about, I'd say 1.5 2 years ago, just, whether it was watching you or watching Lightcast or watching Ping Pong, Chris Wong. And I was just like, I love this. Like up until that point, I didn't know if there was something that I loved to do. I was always asking myself, like, Tyler, what is it that you love to do? Like and it's always reverts back to this. And from there snowballed and, then we did our first show and it just, for me, I fell in love.
Yeah, absolutely. On my end, it was, please don't take this as me like being cocky or like arrogant by any means, because I'm not. But I always felt like I just never felt like my entire life should be, me personally, I should not be, I call it mediocrity, right? Like, I don't feel like I should live a 9 to 5 kind of life, right? I just didn't really know how to come across it, because I can't really sing that well, right? You know, I'm not that much of a dancer. I'm very basic on dancing. Acting is just completely out the window. That could never happen, you know. So I just never knew really what. Like, I knew it was something. I just didn't know what it was, right? So when he approached me about doing a show together, I thought about it, you know. And at first, it seemed kind of like a, you know, like a far-fetched kind of, you know, pipe dream kind of deal. And then we did the first episode, and then it was a wrap after that. And then, you know, we started getting invited on shows, and we got our first guests, and, you know, we come out of it. I mean, after the first, we came out of Sean O'Connell's interview. I mean, I was completely changed after that. Like, it was the first time that, like, it really hit me. And I was like, we're really doing something here, you know, and the numbers started to show that. And you know, we started to meet new people like yourself and Lightcast. And it just, you know, like he said, the snowball effect. And as that keeps going and we keep rolling down that hill, the confidence is boosting more, and the love is boosting more, you know?
Yeah. I think what I like about you guys is, like, it's not only like you got unique perspectives, it's the fact that I like your guys' voice. Your voice, your actual the sound of your voice. I mean, you know, you got I mean, first off, where'd you come up with Big Drip? I mean, that sounds slightly pornographic, but you know.
Oh, wow. You know, I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that.
I hate that you just boosted his ego, though.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, that's what I do here. I'm like,
terrible.
That's my guy. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, me and you are like this right now. So Big Drip, in all actuality, is just like a joke, right? Yeah. This very recent joke at that. Me and my cousin on the 4th of July, we had a cookout, right? And we go to the local Walgreens, and they have those little plastic, like, you know, 4th of July, excuse me, star chains, you know, little bullshit plastic jump offs, right? And they're like $3 a piece. I buy everything on the shelf, and I come out the store bragging like, you know, I got it like that, and blah, 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 $3 and some change ain't nothing, because, you know, I got the big money. And it just kind of rolled like that afterwards. My mother started calling me Big Drip. My auntie started calling me Big Drip. Everybody and their mother call me Big Drip now. Fuck it, let's keep it.
Nice. And well, okay, so then when you like spelled it out, you decided to put 2 Eyes, not 1.
Yeah.
No, that's actually because he can't spell. That's not. That wasn't.
That was.
With a typo, your finger hit it twice. You're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Fuck it, I'll keep it.
Not just Big Drip, it's Big Drip. That's right.
Yeah, baby.
No.
That was a good joke.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, like people are commenting, you got that thick Boston accent, and that really, you know, that helps. That makes you unique. And then Ty, you have a unique voice yourself, and with you, it's like you just put TY. You know, that's cool too. But your full name, of course, is Tyler, right?
Tyler. Yeah. So I look like I'm 12, but I sound like I'm Rod Stewart.
Yes. There it is. I like that because
which is great. For my actual job that we're looking to quit soon, I get called. So I didn't know this about myself, but I get called ma'am on a regular basis. Hello, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. I don't know. Apparently on the phone, I sound like a chick or something. And that's okay with me. I roll with it. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I lighten it up a little bit. Listen, you sound like a lady it's crazy.
You sound like a lady who's been smoking for about 25 years.
You know what? I was gonna say that same joke, but I thought it was a little mean, so I was like, I'm gonna let it go.
Nah, man. Nothing wrong with that joke. But see, that's what I when I talked with you guys, I'm like, you know, these two have like 2 unique voices, like not just like the perspective on like what's happening, but like the sound of the voice. And I mean, you know, I'm kind of envious of that. I wish I had like a little, you know, something, but you know, I'm just like, you know, people just like, oh, you sound like Jim Carrey or you sound like Ryan Reynolds. I'm like, all right,
I'll take it.
You know, I'm like, I guess that's something. And let's see here, Mr. Austin right here. Yeah. Celebrating. Yeah. another cheers moment that, yes, we are getting Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, yes, cheers, Austin. Thank you.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
My man. Did you
get that Snapple out. Get that Snapple out.
Yeah, I'm feeling tipsy.
Speaking of that, did you see Patty Jenkins, her tweet with Zack?
Oh yeah.
Kind of foreshadowed a little, hopefully like a teaser or something before Wonder Woman or something, maybe a release date.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, obviously there's going to be, what is it, on the 15th or the 16th? I forgot what is it, that they're going to have that virtual like DC fandom kind of event.
I think it's the 15th.
15th, there it is. Yeah. She, of course, that's coming out, which is cool because obviously that's when it technically premieres, even though it's not for us. It doesn't premiere for us, but it premieres internationally. And when I saw that thing and it said surprise guests, I'm like, fucking Snyder's going to be there. There's no way that he's not. He's a producer. His company is a producer. It's all there. And I'm like, there's no way that he's not. They have to push Zack Snyder's Justice League as well. It's all going to HBO Max. Yeah. And then sure enough, like, I think it was like 22 minutes later, Snyder tweets it out and goes, I'm glad to be a part of this. And I'm like, there it is. And then of course, Patty was like, hey, and she tweeted out and it just kind of it almost felt like we're back in like, 2016 where these directors are just like totally working with each other and totally excited for everything before all the shit hit the fan. And, after Patty was like, fuck that theatrical Justice League movie, it contradicted my movies. And she worked with Zack and they were trying to make sure the movies are like, it's all in this world right there. That world is like some fucking multiverse Earth that we don't want to visit anymore with Superman has a fucked up face. We don't want to see that.
It's orange. I don't know why.
Yeah. So it was just nice to see that they were, that she tweeted out that thing and then Snyder tweeted out and then she retweeted Snyder's tweet. You just love to see it. You really love to see it.
Absolutely.
Some sense of normalcy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
it's only a sliver. It's something.
Yeah, it's something, and I think it was like kind of like, for fans that have been there since the beginning. I think it was kind of like a reassurance, like, because there's some fans out there, sadly that they hate Patty. They look at and when they see trailers and clips and everything for Wonder Woman 84, they're like, what is this bullshit? This looks like Marvel, blah, blah, blah. They they're hating on everything. This is not what Snyder wanted. And it's like, what the fuck? I mean, Snyder is not one of those guys where it's like, it's weird when people paint Snyder as like, he's not Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige, as Kevin Feige has done great things for Marvel, obviously, but it's always like he has the last say when it comes to all the Marvel's movies. I'm pretty sure that he's got the final cut. He's looking at everything. He wanted to keep everything at a similar tone. Fine. That works for Marvel. Cool. Snyder was not out to do that. He just planted the seeds and said, here, you guys do whatever the fuck you want. I'm going to do my story. You guys do your story. I'm going to plant the seeds. You do whatever, and I'm going to support you. And that's exactly what he's been doing with Patty from the beginning of Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, helping her out with that, and then even having a cameo in the background of that, and then helping her out with Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at it, he was like one of the soldiers in that movie.
No shit. That's
awesome. There's actually a picture of him where he posed like, he's holding a fucking musket or whatever the hell. He's full on in that attire. And he was in the background. He was on set and he was like, fuck it, dress me up, put me in the background.
That's hilarious.
Go ahead,
Joseph.
I'm sorry.
No, by all means.
The No Man's Land sequence, like that, that whole thing. Like he was dressed like one of those, in the soldier in that portion, and it was awesome.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Speaking of Wonder Woman, so can I tell you something cool?
Of course.
Okay. So today it got confirmed, but we talked to our local AMC theater, and we're actually going to be we're going to be doing a live show on Christmas Day from our AMC theater before Wonder Woman IMAX. Yeah.
Shameless
and after.
There it is.
Exclusivo.
It's going to be dope.
I love it.
We're hoping to get, no. I just thought it was really cool. Like that they were like, come in. Like they're going to give us a table and like all that shit. And I was just like, again, the sense of normalcy was back.
That sounds awesome. Well, tell everybody, I mean, like anybody who's like watching right now that might be in the area or close to the area, tell them what AMC theater that you guys are going to be at.
Oh, Drizzle, take the lead.
It's obviously Christmas Day, and it's AMC in South Bay, which is technically Boston, but Boston's made up of like smaller communities that they're named different things. So that's Dorchester. It's the largest one in the area besides Boston Common, and it's really cool. Hopefully, we're gonna have the general manager come on and kind of explain why it's a safe alternative instead of staying home. So it's kind of a win-win that we're trying to do with AMC. Like, tell people why they should come back. What are you doing to make it safe?
Exactly.
So I thought that was
essentially we're trying to make it like a you scratch our back, we scratch your kind of thing, right? Like they're gonna let us do our interview from there, bring the GM on, and then now they get their chance to plug to our audience and anybody who may be watching to explain to people like, hey, this is what we got going on. They'll be able to specifically see because we'll have our cameras set up live so they can specifically show people, hey, it is safe here. You can come out to the theaters. Everything's okay, and you're not going to get sick. We have precautions set up. Please bring your ass down here and come watch our movies. We don't want to go out of business.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I wish I could do that here in California, but Jesus Christ, I mean,
ain't shit happening in Cali, right?
Fuck no. Like I said, I mean, the last movie I saw was Tenet, and I had to drive to San Diego County because they're just like, fuck it, I had to drive an hour and a half to and fro from the movie theater in San Diego County just to go watch Tenet because I was like, I want to see this movie on a big IMAX screen.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Wonder Woman 84, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm most likely the first viewing is going to be right here, sadly, but hopefully sniff out some kind of IMAX theater because I want to support. I mean, obviously today AMC came out and said that their cash is running out beginning of the year. They're going to be like really hurting. So I'm glad you guys are doing that.
Amazon.
Yeah. That whole thing. I mean, it's all crazy. I mean, obviously there's people that it's such a weird thing because, when HBO Max announced what they were going to be doing, which was like, to a lot of people, probably you guys too, was like, it felt like that was the balance that you have to do. It's like, hey, we're still going to put these movies in the theaters, but you have the option to watch it at home as well. But please come out to the movie theaters. And then, of course, there's some directors that came out that said, fuck that. You guys are killing the industry. A lot of, some actors and even, but then all of a sudden you have Disney that just, like I said, just fucking pulls out that big veiny dick and just, and just, hey, look at this. But even though that they're going to be releasing in the movie theaters too, there's a lot of content that is strictly Disney Plus. Yeah. And, I mean, what did you guys think about what happened yesterday?
Dude, I'm so fucking glad you brought it up because, me and him were talking before and, he made sure that, he told me about your preference for DC, right? But then immediately after, all that news came out from Disney. I was like, there's no fucking way in hell we're not going to talk about this at some point. I'm so glad you brought it up. Because when I went through the list yesterday of everything that they announced, I mean, my head was literally almost exploding. Like, I still have a migraine from the shit. It's absolutely fucking nuts.
Well, like I said, I did a 40-minute video, and I didn't even cover all of it.
Imagine that.
I know. We did so me and our producer, we did a live stream, and we tried to do it at the same time as all of it was happening, and it was just so chaotic. Like,
Dude, I couldn't even imagine.
We don't have like a social media person, so like it's just kind of us that do it, and like all this shit just started rolling out, and I'm trying to post it to 5 different platforms, 25 different things, and it's just like it was overwhelming. Like, and I think you said it in your intro, like left me breathless, like moving so quick and like trying to keep up with it all. And I mean, they really did. They did. I almost stuttered again. They whipped their dick out, like you said.
No. It left me stuttering too. I mean, like when I left work yesterday, all I saw was, they're gonna release 10 Star Wars series and 10 Marvel series, and I'm like, that's it. That's kind of lame. And I was like, I'm like, you know what? If that's gonna be all that they're gonna talk about and a couple other things, fuck that. And then I get home and I had to do like a little Zoom meeting thing, and for like about a half hour, 45 minutes, and then all of a sudden I'm just going, I'm like looking at my Twitter and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like there's so much, so many Star Wars, so much Marvel, so much everything. And I'm like, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I got to do a video now, but I don't know where to start. I have no idea where to start. It was insane.
Yeah, I think I'm happiest, and I am pleased because Justice and I talked about this several times. I am so happy out of everything that came out yesterday. I'm happy for 2 things. I'm happy that Patty is going to direct a Star Wars film and be the first female director on a movie, and that they're not going to recast Black Panther because I was scared. I didn't know what they were going to do. I'm happy that they're going to. Yeah, I'm happy they're going to use the legacy of the character to move the story forward rather than, subtly recast them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that because, there's like one argument where it's like, well, I mean, there's only been one movie. Chadwick Boseman wasn't like that huge of a star, and I'm like, but then at the same time, I mean, he was on the up and up. I mean, he really was on the up and up, and he was Black Panther, and the way he died and how it was just shocking for everybody. Pretty damn tragic, and it's like you have to respect that. So I was like, kind of like when I saw both arguments, I was like, no, the way that if they're going to do it where they're not going to recast them, that's the best way to go. I mean, when it comes to what they're going to do, I mean, it was interesting because Letitia Wright, when she kind of had her little backlash that happened recently, it was kind of like, oh shit. It was like, wait a minute, you might be Black Panther. You might be Black Panther. Stop. Don't post.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole thing. My whole thing was like, okay. I get you. You have some questions about the vaccine. Fine. But you just posted a video where this guy just rambles on. And then there's a lot of other stuff in there too that might get you in trouble. And I was just like, don't go. What do you do? Oh, shit.
Right. Yeah. Ryan Coogler was just like, shut the fuck up, will you? My God.
Same with Feige. Same with Kevin Feige.
I think, but she's definitely a fan favorite. I think, I think at most it was like cringeworthy. You know, it wasn't like, we're going to cut her completely. You know what I'm saying? Of that level. And as far as Chadwick goes, I think the best bet is really hit us, especially like the Black community, in the heartstrings with a deep fake of Chadwick. I promise that's another $1 billion right off rip. Hit him with the deep fake. Show us Chadwick's face. Everybody starts crying in the theaters. We go home to the hood and we tell everybody to come see this fucking movie. Another $1 billion easy. I'm telling you. If I was Feige, that's how I come across it.
You know what? I mean, they're gonna have to do something. I mean, they've done this before when it came to Carrie Fisher and Leia. It's like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do for Rise of Skywalker? And it's like, all right, well, we got to do something, and they did do something. And you know what? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, even though Rise of Skywalker has a lot of problems, when she dies. I felt that shit in that movie. When Chewie drops to his knees and screams, Fucking A. That hit me right,
See?
right in the, my heart balls. Like, heart balls.
Yeah. Now imagine it, King T'Challa doing the same shit, but with King T'Challa. That I personally will literally cry. I'm a weak man. I have a sensitive heart. I will cry.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they need to do. I mean, I'm curious to see what they do. In my opinion, Lupita should be the new Black Panther. If anything, I don't think Letitia or Shuri should be. I think Lupita's character should be. I think Shuri should stay where she's at, being the smart one and creating the technology. I think she should stay where she's at. And Lupita's character, I forgot what her character was in the movie, but I think.
Her right, T'Challa's right hand, right?
Yeah. I think she should be the new Black Panther if they're gonna pass it on. Yeah. Or what's his name? That the big dude.
Wild Gorilla, or whatever the character's name is. Yeah, White Gorilla.
Yeah. I think it should be one of those. I think Shuri should stay where she's at.
Oh shit.
Yeah, where she should stay. Yeah, that's my opinion right there.
That's interesting. That's definitely the first I heard, because everybody's go-to is
Oh, we're not saying that. Not casting it as a bad move. Well, I mean, yeah, pal. No. I mean, the way
it's not.
The way you gotta look at it, William. The way you got to look at it is, I mean, I like I said, I've seen both arguments. I'm not comparing him to Carrie Fisher. I'm not doing that. I get it. Like Carrie Fisher, to me, like when it happened in Rise of Skywalker, that hit me emotionally. I don't know if whatever they do with Chadwick Boseman might not hit me as hard. It won't. I get that, because obviously Carrie Fisher has been around since but there's other people out there, like, of course, Justice right down here was like, that's gonna hit him. You got to realize there's different people that it's gonna feel differently. I get it. I get Carrie Fisher been around, since the beginning, and there was a different kind of thing. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. You got to respect the character. You got to respect the person, and then of course, whatever the family too. Like when they were talking about like doing like what they were gonna do with like the deep fake thing or whatever the hell. If the family's okay with it, everybody's okay with it. Do it. Do whatever. And it's all about what the family wants, in my opinion. When it came to Carrie Fisher, they were cool with what they did in Rise of Skywalker. As far as
Paul Walker, they were okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. And look, let's be real for a second, right? Marvel has never been subtle in their recastings, right? Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo, Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle. Like they're not subtle about it. There's no like. And I promise you, Black Panther 2 will be fucking boycotted out of theaters if they recast this man. The way he just tragically passed away. He didn't even tell anybody he had cancer for the longest. And then he just randomly passed away one day. And if they recast, I promise you, there will be riots.
Oh, there'll be backlash.
I think I think you're taking it a little far, but I think that there'd be some upset people. Yes, for me, I didn't really care for the first Black Panther. I mean, it was great for the community. I just don't think it ranked my top Marvel movies. Like it was subpar to me. I thought Michael B. Jordan was the best part of it. He did a wonderful job. It just again, I didn't come out of the theater like I came out of Winter Soldier. So I didn't. It just didn't hit me. What? I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Are you talking about? You said Civil War, like when Black Panther was in Civil War, or no? Or are you talking about just
no
general? Okay.
I'm just talking about in general, like Marvel films, like when you came out of Endgame or Infinity War or second Captain America, like it just didn't do that for me. But it did do it for a lot of people. A lot of the Black community loved the film, and I thought that was great. It just wasn't for me.
Absolutely agreed. I'm just we're on the same page. Black Panther is nowhere near like my top.
Not even
close.
The final act is pretty bad.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Black Panther's biggest problem was its visuals, because the story itself was absolutely fantastic. If you ask me, the way they tied in actual Black issues and then mixed them into Marvel's cinematic universe, I thought was beautifully done and portrayed by Michael B. Jordan. But the movie itself was overall just kind of ugly looking, right? Like the CGI wasn't very good. It was just choreography was kind of off. But I think it's more him itself than the movie, right? It's King T'Challa, the character, right? Because Civil War, if you ask me, he was the best part of Civil War. You know what I mean? I think it's more that.
I mean, I'm one of those people that, I mean, it's funny because it seems like when it comes to even with Spider-Man, I'm like, I like Spider-Man when he's not in his own movie. Just like I like Black Panther. I like Black Panther more in Civil War than I did in his own movie. I like Spider-Man more in Civil War and Infinity War more than I liked him in his own movies. Like, I don't know. It is kind of weird how, like, the Russo brothers, I mean, I have my issues with them, but they, they did pretty well when it came to all these characters. Like, I mean, they did fairly well because, when it came to Winter Soldier, that's that's top tier fucking MCU right there. Winter Soldier is top tier.
That's my number one.
It really is.
So is mine. It's my number one as well.
Yeah.
And when it came to Infinity War might be, I think, number 3. I think mine's like Winter Soldier, first Iron Man, Infinity War. And, and it's just like they handled that well. Endgame, that Endgame, I have issues with Endgame a little bit, but they still handled it fairly well. But but when it comes to like them handling Black Panther and Spider-Man, I think I think they handled them better than the directors did in their individual movies. That's just my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. I put Far From Home at the top. Far From Home is
really.
Oh my God, loved Far From Home. Absolutely. I fucking love that movie. Mysterio, you couldn't do a better job if you fucking tried. And the way that Gyllenhaal and Holland played off each other so fucking well, and the story was so like fucking pinpoint correct between like Mysterio and Spider-Man's relationship that it was just fucking top tier. If you ask me, I fucking love that movie. The visuals, the whole illusion scenes, and the whole fucking nine. Tom Holland got hit by a train. In that movie.
No.
Came out with a black eye.
Okay, I'll give you the Mysterio stuff, but man, the first fucking half an hour, I struggled with that.
Yeah. Tom Holland's so adorable. He can't bother me.
I'm with Dave. Mysterio scenes were the best part of that movie. I mean, as soon as Iron Man was gone, it just seemed like I don't know, it was like missing its draw in. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
I was looking forward to like, okay, it's like, all right, Peter, now that Tony's gone, now you're on your own. Let's do this. But of course they dealt with the death of Iron Man, and but it's just the I'm not a fan of the new MJ. I'm not a fan. The only side character I like is Ned. I like Ned. But Flash Thompson. The Flash Thompson they have and the MJ.
Oh, he's such a douchebag.
I fucking hate Flash Thompson. What a waste.
Thank you.
What a waste. Because if we got Agent Venom on screen,
Jesus Christ.
I'd blow Kevin Feige personally. I would personally put my mouth on his dick for Agent Venom in a movie. That's my fucking word.
What? Yeah, well, what they got to do with the next Spider-Man, they got to bring in Joe Manganiello, who is the original Flash Thompson.
Yeah,
Agent Venom. That's what they should do.
Yeah,
that's what they should do.
Yeah.
But,
now they can do it too.
Yeah,
right? They're bringing everyone back anyway.
Yeah.
I talked about it last night on my video when Joe Manganiello was on ET Canada, and he talked about, of course, like Deathstroke and everything like that. But I was like, I made the joke. I'm like, well, maybe he shaved his head because now he's he's going to be Flash Thompson, Agent Venom. in the Spider-Man 3.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
Dave. Dave. So, out of all the investor call stuff, right? Which Star Wars project and which Marvel project are you most excited for out of the lists?
Ooh. Yeah, hit me.
Ooh, let's see. Well, Star Wars, Obi-Wan, obviously, because
that's right.
Obi-Wan and then Ahsoka too, because I mean they did a brilliant job in that Mandalorian episode with Rosario Dawson. I mean that was just one of the best, if not the best, Mandalorian episode. I haven't watched the recent one. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow morning, and I hear it's great. And even the last episode, there's some issues I have with the last episode, but I love seeing Boba Fett kicking ass like he did, and showing that the stormtroopers are just so fucking incompetent. They just suck.
Useless.
But at the same time, I love the fact that we saw him actually shatter their lenses in their helmets.
Literally, it was great stuff, by the way, because it really was. So the past 3 episodes have been the first 4. I was like, all right, so when is this going to pick up? And then the last 3 definitely delivered.
Yeah. And then when it comes to Marvel, I've always been intrigued by the What If animated series. I think I've always and it was funny too because they announced it so long ago, and I'm like, where the fuck is What If shit?
No shit.
I'm very intrigued by it, but I'm also, you know what? When I saw the Loki trailer, I'm intrigued by WandaVision, but the Loki trailer, I've always loved Tom Hiddleston as that role. I think he's one of the the best CBM villains. He's definitely the best when it comes to the MCU. So when I saw that trailer, I was I was pretty intrigued by it. So I would say, when it comes to the two, it would be the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Obviously, we knew that Hayden Christensen was going to come back. Did I know he was going to come back as Vader? No, I thought he'd be in flashbacks, which I think that's still going to be the case. There's no way that they don't do flashbacks when it comes to that. But he's coming back as Vader, and that's pretty damn intriguing, which I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Quick redemption for him.
When it comes to Marvel, though, I think I'm still very, very much intrigued by the What If series. So,
Did somebody ask for Marvel Zombies? What?
Yes.
Marvel Zombies? What? Let me get that.
So I'll be honest with you. I was most excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier up until yesterday.
Oh no! The trailer didn't do it for you, huh?
No, me neither.
No. The Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer was fantastic. I thought it was great. Okay. However, I thought the Loki trailer, because I was least excited for Loki, and all of a sudden it switched because the time variance. I'm just with what's Marvel Universe, the time variance authority is going to have a huge part to play, and seeing what the story might be. I think they're gonna do good with it.
I'm highly confused as to what that fucking story of Loki is even gonna be. I know it's kind of they gave us a hint of time frame, but what is the overall when I shared the trailer on social media, that was the caption. What is this show? What the fuck what is this? What is the story? What is Loki doing? What's going? I know so little of this show, and the trailer really didn't answer any fucking questions I had at all.
That's what I liked about it, though. I like the fact that it's so off the cuff. It's as soon as we saw him disappear in Endgame, I was like, well, there it is. Loki's still alive. Loki's still good. Yeah, I'm great with that because I like Tom Hiddleston in that role. I think he's, I like the way that he what he brings to that role. It sucks that when I see him in other movies, I just see Loki, and I try not to. I know he's a good actor, but I just see Loki. But I'm glad that he's getting his own series, and they're gonna have some fun with it. It looks like they're gonna do the vote for Loki thing. They showed that, which is straight out of the comic book. There was so much that but at the same time, to your point, Justice is I don't even know what WandaVision's gonna be about.
Oh,
like,
WandaVision is just House of M. It's just House of M. That's all it is. That's really what it is. It's the Civil War. It's Civil War, but like House of M kind of way. You see what I'm saying?
See, I was thinking that too, but all of a sudden, man, I don't know, because I really hope they don't spend multiple episodes doing that whole sitcom thing. I hope that's
going to be the whole draw.
No, don't do that.
No, there's no way. No,
don't do that.
Don't try to ruin this for us.
I don't know. That's what intrigued me about it. I thought that's like a different kind of thing. But we're gonna have some people join the panel here. We got Mr. Scott McClellan. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Oh.
Hey. What's up? How's it going, buddy? Look at that. Look at that hoodie. Looking good.
I know. First time I get to wear it because it took this long for the weather to get appropriate for me to wear a hoodie in Alabama.
I was about to say, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I know it gets humid down there. Trust me, I know. I mean, I definitely live there, but yeah, it's finally getting cold down there, huh?
Oh yeah, there's a joke going around Facebook that's like, "Hey Yankees, your weather's drunk in my front yard. Could you come take it home, please?"
Can you guys get this shit out of here?
Yeah. I'm sure where you guys are at though in Boston, it's probably already like pretty damn cold.
Oh no, I got no room to talk. I understand that. I'm just saying for my area. Yeah. No, we don't play this. No,
Today was beautiful actually out here.
Yeah. See, so Boston's like a girl on her period. She's just fucking all over the place. Like one day it's like -20, the next day it's 65, the day after that it's -45.
That's Alabama.
You're gonna get us cold.
Yeah.
Alabama has that a little bit too. Yeah. All right, we also got Mr. John Aaron Garza. What's up, buddy?
Did you hear me? You're gonna get us canceled.
I know. No, I like that joke. That was a funny joke. I think Garza did that
Thank
one
you,
too,
Dave.
right?
I was saying, where's the line these days? I don't know where it is.
What's going on, Garza? How you doing? You joined in at the perfect moment.
Right? I was to say, you know what? If there was a line, I have habitually crossed it several times.
That's not me.
You don't cross the line. You already live on the other side.
Yeah, I'm like fucking. I'm down the goddamn road. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm camping some more shit.
Oh, I'm glad you brought us in time for some Star Wars talk, though. Because
I know. I was about to say. I mean, there's so much, dude. There's so much that we're going to be talking about. I
felt like. Okay, so someone shares the Patty Jenkins tweet with me, and I can't watch the video with the sound on because my wife and I were watching Flight Attendant, and then I see her grab the helmet, and I went, "Wait a minute!" And then she's pulling on the orange jumpsuit, and then I see a freaking X-wing, and then just pops up Rogue Squadron. And Dave, you know me, I flipped my shit. And then under the tweet to see Michael Stackpole, who wrote the comics and wrote the Rogue Squadron novels,
he's part of it.
I'm sitting here going, I mean, that's the Star Wars of all that. I mean, I'm excited for Kenobi, absolutely. But Rogue Squadron literally gave me something that I've been asking for decades.
You even said that. You're like, you probably mentioned that on the Vodka stream. You were like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you probably did. I don't remember because I'm too busy getting drunk on this damn thing. But you know what? Yeah. I think I remember something. But yeah. I remember I think it was right before I left work. Right before I left work, I saw that video and I'm like, oh, Patty Jenkins posted a video of her rollerblading. That's gonna be cool. And then all of a sudden I get home and I'm like, what the fuck? She's gonna be directing a Star Wars film? What the? And I watched that video and I'm like, that was a perfect way for her to do that because it just made me fall in love with her even more. I think I did a video like the night before. I'm like, and I even said, I'm like, come on, guys, Patty's hot. I mean, am I the only one here? She could pull off the bang.
Damn.
I mean, trying to back that, Dave.
I mean, she's busty. I mean, there's something about her. Where I found her very sexy.
My God.
Hey, Dave, I'll put in a word for you. I got you. Me and Patty are like this, y'all. I got you.
All right, as long as there is that. Garza, what do you
No,
think
you're
about?
not.
What do you think about Patty directing Rogue
Gross.
Squad?
Oh, sorry. No. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what she does with Star Wars. One of the things I was thinking about with the Kenobi show, right?
Oh,
So we know that technically, I mean, let's be realistic here, right? If it's 10 years after,
Sith.
right?
Get down.
Yeah.
10 years after Order 66. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but Scott, you know what the fuck I'm thinking they might do. And if they do this, I will be upset, but I'll also kind of be like, okay. But I feel like with Kenobi, they can't. You
Wait a
can't
minute.
just.
Wait
He's on
a minute.
Tatooine.
I want to know what you guys are thinking now.
You know what the fuck I'm talking
I have
about.
no idea.
I can't say it. I can't say it. But
Okay.
I can say that you know what I'm talking about.
What, having
There's like 5 people that would know what I'm talking about. Scott is one of them. Dave.
Very
you are.
ominous.
I know,
Oh,
but see,
absolutely.
I'm
I
not
am
dumb
not
when it
one
comes
of
to this shit.
Well,
I'm like,
listen to the keywords that I used after Order 66 and Kenobi, basically on a remote island or remote planet, right? Nothing happens with him, right? So if we're going to see Vader, that means we're going to see Vader involved with, because Vader never knew about Tatooine. Okay, he never knew Obi-Wan was there.
Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing Vader doing whatever the fuck Vader's doing 10 years after Order 66. And I don't know, what was he doing? Maybe hunting down some Jedi that were out there that were fucking around on other planets.
okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, let's be honest, it's what we wanted to see happen in Revenge of the Sith.
Correct.
I mean, Revenge of the Sith is hands down my favorite of the prequel trilogy. It always has been. But if we're talking about the expectations that I set myself up for when I went to go see that movie in 2005, that's the one thing that just gnawed at me was I wanted to see Vader mowing down some Jedi.
Yeah.
And I did.
Not kids.
Not younglings. Not younglings. I wanted him to be mowing down some Jedi. And I never got that in Revenge of the Sith.
Nope, you got child murder instead.
I got child murder, and you know what? I'll deal with child murderer, but I still want to see him take it on. That's why the Mustafar fight is
but
amazing.
But again, the reason why I'm saying that, the reason why I'm saying that that's the only thing I can think of that we'll be seeing is because Star Wars is all about canon. Right? They're not, and Marvel isn't going to fuck that up, and neither is Disney. So I meant Disney, not Marvel, but they're not going to fuck up canon to make a show interesting. Because if they were, I mean, dude, they could have done anything they wanted to with The Mandalorian. And so I feel like if they're going to do what I think they're about to do, we're going to see, because Vader can have any interaction with Obi-Wan. The only thing we could see them as like flashbacks, back in the day when he was Anakin, and which is cool. Don't get me wrong, that's going to be awesome. But if he's going to be appearing on Obi-Wan Kenobi as Vader, that means we're going to be seeing him in action. It's not going to be I don't mean like Rogue One where he shows up every once in a while. It's going to be Rogue One at the end, those reshoots, fucking mowing down Jedi because.
You could technically, if you go back and watch A New Hope, the dialogue that Darth Vader has about Obi-Wan is vague enough that you could have there's room to go because he says that a presence I haven't felt
since and
it stops. And so you got some because you got 20 years between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope.
Yeah.
Right.
So they got some wiggle room to have interaction.
Well, here's the other thing though, is that, and again, this is why I'm talking about canon. Darth Maul didn't know Obi-Wan was there. Darth Maul was trying to evade from Vader as well. He knew he couldn't face Vader on his own. And so if it took all that time for Maul to finally end up on Tatooine, spoiler alert for Rebels, dying on Tatooine again by Obi-Wan Kenobi, he wasn't really expecting it, but he was kind of waiting for it. And so that kind of tells me that Obi-Wan was literally just kind of doing his own thing, staying hidden like he should be, which means Vader would have never known about Tatooine. I mean, I that's all I could say. That's what I'm looking at. If Vader would have known, believe me, you would have seen. I mean, dude, would Luke even have needed to like complain to Uncle Owen about joining? The whole fucking the Empire would be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
On Tatooine.
Yeah.
All right, we got Mr. Stephen Colbert, of course, showing up right now. I'm sure he has many things to say about that too.
Stephen Colbert coming on the show.
Say,
that's right. Welcome.
I think there's a tremendous lack of imagination to suggest that the only way they could interact is if Vader goes to Tatooine.
There it is.
Well, no,
there
I don't mean
I knew Stephen was
mean
going
it
to
that way. No. I don't mean it that way. But please explain to me if you think Obi-Wan is going to be leaving Tatooine.
Yeah, sure.
Shut up!
You're the one talking about canon.
You're one of those fake fans that only just talks about it. You don't know your shit, okay? Scott, you're with me, right?
Yeah, I mean, and Anakin never had a Padawan. You know, everything that we assume about the timeline is totally, unflexible.
Clone Wars, I wouldn't have guessed in Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, he had a Padawan. Blew my mind. He never even mentions her.
No, I mean, there's 20 years in there. I don't think it's unreasonable especially because Bail Organa knows he's there. I mean, they could, I think, as far as I'm aware of canon, and they've shown a willingness to retcon stuff anyway. There's nothing stopping them from having him like leave for a quick mission if there's something specific for him.
Totally gonna do that.
But also he could stay on Tatooine the whole time, and maybe he has like some psychic duels with Vader. Like that'd be really cool with Hayden too, because they could do they could do like an astral plane kind of thing. They could even do some awesome lightsaber stuff in there, and then they could even have.
You talking about like Last Jedi, like what Luke did?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
That's what I was just making sure.
And because Obi-Wan is there learning how to like be a Force ghost, which is a very similar principle. And then Vader spends like all his time like meditating in that sphere thing, so I don't see how it's ridiculous to have them
coming out of light speed too fast.
Yeah, right. And it'd be cool too, because if they do like something like that, it'd be awesome to have like Anakin's vision of himself. So like he's not in the Vader armor necessarily, but maybe he's like a side, but like that concept art in The Force Awakens. They love reusing all that concept art. So imagine an Anakin like actual cyborg, not like in the suit, like fighting Vader in the spiritual
in a cave. Yeah.
Well, imagine having Anakin like like you said, like a vision of himself, but still in like the the Vader like suit, but not the helmet, but his like normal head. Ooh. God damn.
You know what I still want though is I still want to pay off to something they suggested at the end of Revenge of the Sith, seeing Qui-Gon's Force ghost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Well, you see it in Clone Wars. I mean, God,
right?
Well, it's debatable whether there's some weird canon stuff with that, where that might be a vision and not actually a ghost.
Oh, really?
Okay. It's weird. I mean, it's like
that planet though is so strong. So
yeah, exactly. But they he spent 18 years in the desert, and he was there to commune with Qui-Gon. So in my mind, if they do the series right, I'd prefer. I'm saying that he can leave and all this stuff. I prefer they didn't do that. What I prefer would be like maybe some Clone Wars flashbacks would be awesome, but but the whole thing is him like meditating and debating with Qui-Gon, wondering did they handle Anakin correct? I mean, there's a lot of guilt of like how responsible he was for ending the galaxy, right? Like look at the role he had in that, like there's a lot to kind of process there, and also he's literally learning how to become a Force ghost, and like that's to me that's how you end. You can't end like if you're gonna put an end, like say now Obi-Wan's story from the Phantom Menace to what I guess the Return of the Jedi or whatever.
Oh no!
But because his character arc continues, we just don't see the details of it, but it continues after he dies because he's a Force ghost and he's elevated, and so his character
can literally sit down on logs.
And
from
so
a certain point of view,
so to me you can't really that is his story, and the question that like Star Wars fans have about him that you can clarify, and that's when it happens is in those years in the desert is where he learns here's what this means, here's how you learn to do it. Otherwise, if it is like him going and trying to convert Vader and then failing, and then they're like, okay, cool, that's it for Obi-Wan stories. It's like there's the thing that people want to know is still not there. So I think it's got to be a heavily like spiritual, like hermit movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. What do you guys think? The Pop Boys. What do you guys think? Like when it comes to the Obi-Wan series, do you think we're gonna see like full? I mean, obviously, we're gonna see a Vader and Obi-Wan like rematch. Yeah, well, even technically, it is a rematch, but it's gonna. I mean, it's gonna make that New Hope. Yeah. That New Hope lightsaber fight look like fucking, just two old geezers just whatever doing. Yeah. But what do you guys think?
Which it is technically. Yeah. I'm thinking. So I'm thinking based off. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I forgot your name. Beard and Beanie.
Steven.
It says it under his thing.
No worries.
Oh, it does. I'm blind.
Snyder has said he's a Yeti.
He's a Yeti.
That's what Snyder called him, a Yeti.
A Yeti. I'm not going to do that. We just met. I'm going to base off what you said, right? With the whole, psychic link and the, astro possible kind of thing. First of all, I don't think the cyborg thing is going to happen simply because they have this tendency to like not keep the mask on, right? Like they pay actors. Like you look at superhero movies, how much time does Spider-Man spend without the mask on, right? Because you got to show the actor's face. I feel it's going to be similar with Hayden. And also, I think a big part of that will also be Obi-Wan trying to, like you said, that psychic link, and Obi-Wan trying to keep Vader from figuring out where he is, right? Trying to do his best to, like, distract him and, send him the wrong way and give him false messages, shit like that. I think a big part of it will be Vader hunting down Kenobi for that rematch.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying too about the whole like mask thing, but we got to remember Pedro Pascal. I mean, he's always wearing his helmet, so I mean, there is that. I mean, I know there's rumors out there that he was not a fan of that, which was put out there by Versus Girl. But it's whatever. What about you, Ty? What do you think? What do you think about all this?
I actually do. I like what Steven said. I'm not as well versed in the Star Wars lore, so I don't want to pretend like. I mean, I just like didn't watch it. I really did. I didn't watch it for years and years and years. And I probably like 3-4 years ago, I watched A New Light, and so now I'm getting into it. I'm still finishing Clone Wars right now, so I don't want to pretend like I know what's gonna happen, but I do like what Steven said, and I think that would make for a good series or a good storytelling perspective.
Yeah, Steven, you gave some fucking.
Can you answer?
What I can appreciate. Go on, Ty.
I was gonna say, can you answer one thing for me? So it says that it's filming in Boston. Is that Boston, London, or is that Boston where I am?
Confused about that.
Did it say that?
Yeah.
No. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, and the way it's worded,
I don't know what in Boston.
Yeah.
That is. It says that Obi-Wan the series is going to be filming in, it's got to be London, right? I don't know, but it seems interesting because what do you guys
talking about? That was the concept art I was talking about from The Force Awakens.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember this.
Oh, okay, dude, that's dope.
Yeah, so like that would be him as like a Force ghost, and so like if he's like an astral projection of himself, hypothetically they could blend that, like, oh, is he Vader or Anakin, like actually into his being instead of it being like a suit, and they keep his face in there.
Yeah, that's dope.
That is awesome.
And if you know anything about like Star Wars development, they always go back to that like old concept art and stuff. Like there's a bunch of stuff for like the High Republic stuff they're doing that's coming up. That's like recycled ship models that they did for like The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. So it's stuff like this. You always wonder if they're gonna find a way to bring it back.
That's awesome. Okay. I totally forgot.
That looked awesome. That looked really good.
With this whole, I don't know if it's just because of the Clone Wars, which is ironic because even in Clone Wars, it's not voiced by Hayden Christensen as Anakin, but like having Anakin come back, or just Hayden Christensen in general, like that got me more excited. And maybe it's because I already knew about the Obi-Wan show, but like I'm more excited to see Hayden Christensen portraying Vader and Anakin once more, just because I'm like, dude did such a great, like if you look at his performance, like lined up with Luke,
really?
You're like, yeah, dude, they're fucking lineage. Their lineage, they're exactly the same, dude. Like Luke's a fucking whiny little bitch,
I like
dude.
sand.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. I'm dead
and-
serious. I'm dead serious though. Like, yeah, there's some shitty dialogue sometimes.
Oh, fucking A.
I don't give a shit about one line or two lines. Like I fucking love Hayden Christensen.
I can think of three whole movies full of shitty lines delivered by Hayden Christensen. Excuse me, 2 movies.
Two?
I don't want to get into like outright defending it because there's like totally some cringe stuff in there, but also I think the context is always missed that like this is a dude who like literally has been he's a monk, like he's been sequestered from like women and not allowed to flirt and stuff forever. And so he's like
and he doesn't have a father.
What is he? Yeah,
you know
he's like 18 or 20 or whatever in that movie, and he's like got like the hardest crush ever, and he's like not allowed to pursue it, so he doesn't know like how to go about that. But also he has like no game. He's got like no game whatsoever.
How do you like if you think about it, like honestly, if you think about it right now in your real life, how the fuck would you know how to even approach a woman?
I love
like, what would you fucking say? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't even know what I like to say to women, and I have sex. So
We've all done that. I like sand thing.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah, we've all done it.
Especially the girl you've had a crush on since you were 10.
Yeah, dude. We all have that moment. We just don't say that line.
You guys forgot a major portion. My man spent the first like 10, 12 years of his life as a fucking slave on some dirt planet by a giant bug monster.
With sand, all sand everywhere.
It's funny. He hates sand.
Yeah, and I hate sand too, by the way. And I didn't.
Like,
it does get everywhere. Like I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, and then when he watched
so funny.
Anakin was already trying to spit out those lines like at Padme like right away because he's all. I mean, in that ship, he's like, "Are you an angel?" And he's just like,
right off rip, straight game.
He was spitting game like as a kid, and it's very cringy, even of course then. And it's just like, but you bring up a good point that he's just like, he doesn't know, and he's just trying his best. So you might have
and you're forgetting the biggest thing. He keeps getting told, right? Like he is actively being told he's a fucking 5-year-old.
Yeah,
you're the chosen one, dude.
Yeah. Hey, you're the guy.
You're the chosen one.
You might keep
the lightsaber in your pants.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. Like imagine being told that, like I'm the chosen. Like, imagine I'm the chosen one. And I'm like, fuck, I can't even talk to a female though. Like,
god damn.
You know me, dude. If people were telling me I was a chosen one, I'd be gloating every fucking day. Like, first off, sweetheart, I am the chosen one. I don't know if you know that.
Well, Garza, you do that without being told you're the chosen one. So I mean, exactly. I can only imagine
anyway
the exponential increase that would happen if that was
exactly. So it's. I mean, I figure he was pretty humble.
It's crazy. But anyway,
I love that.
So getting off like a little bit of the Star Wars. I mean, there's plenty of Star Wars that we're going to be getting. Which is great. And I even the Bad Batch looked great too. That trailer looked great.
Yeah.
And obviously it's in the vein, of course, Clone Wars and Rebel looks pretty good. And it almost looks like the I mean if I'm going to compare it to anything else, almost like the Suicide Squad of Star Wars, which that's what I was digging when I watched it. I'm like, and like there's a guy that literally looks like fucking Rambo. I mean, he's got the bandana and the mullet almost looking up. Yeah, dude.
You know what? I actually feel like it. Hold on. I just want to make this one comment. I feel like the Mandalorian, and it's not a spoiler by any means. It's just how I was processing watching this latest episode because I know you haven't seen it, Dave. But I feel like they're building up the Mandalorian and all his like side buddies. I feel like they're building up like a Suicide Squad type, like level of camaraderie.
Yeah, especially with I mean, I haven't seen the new episode, but I know Bill Burr. I mean, because people can't they can't hold their shit. It's like open on the time.
Yeah.
I know he shows up in this latest episode, but the episode that he was in last year, I was like, oh yeah, that's totally. He's going to be part of those misfits of the fucking.
That's like this. Like this episode makes you feel like it even. You're like, I feel like this is setting up to where you're going to see like 7 or 8 fucking just characters with him plus Jedi, obviously with the Ahsoka.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if we see his character in animated form in that Bad Batch animated series. I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm like, go for it, man. I love it.
And so did I hear her correctly when she said that Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka are all going to eventually culminate with Mandalorian and like some big like silver?
Yep.
Yeah, I read that
because I think that'd be
timeline.
Yeah,
but I kind of figured there would be some sort of culmination, but I didn't know that she outright said it.
Yeah, they said it was going to be.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and
I thought was pretty cool.
I didn't even know that was happening. Like that's how unaware I was. But like the announcements and all that. But so the Acolyte, is that going to be something that is for me?
That's High Republic. That's the Acolyte is the emerging of the dark side during the end of the High Republic era.
Correct.
Which is before, which is the world. But I define what you mean by for you. Like the Star Wars that you want is never going to happen.
I know.
So
I know it's never going to happen.
This will be closer to like what you've been asking for, but like they're not going to do a villain centric, villain oriented. Like it's going to be her like struggling. It's going to be someone like struggling with the dark side and turning away from it.
Do you think this is going to be like their version of not retconning, but kind of their version of like Darth Bane and Xana somehow? Because remember, Xana was a Jedi before turning.
Maybe, but whatever they do is going to be somehow it's going to give you hope or give you they're gonna whatever it is.
I get hope, man. Fuck that.
So
I want to see some fucking dark, like some.
Like you're not going to see like a Spawn. You're not going to see like a Star Wars Spawn or like a Star Wars Punisher or something.
Ah, damn it!
Like all I'm saying is, listen, if they would have done Last Jedi, and I know there's so many different opinions on Last Jedi, but if they would have done this on Last Jedi, it would have blown everybody out. They would have been like, "Holy shit!" Okay, so Last Jedi does exactly what you're doing, minus Canto Bight. Fuck that planet, whatever, and the stupid little jokes in there. You have Kylo Ren do exactly the same thing, kills Snoke. He tells Rey that her parents are nobody, and he says, join me. He's basically offering his help to join her, or for her to join him, and she accepts, and that's what we ended on. Like we see her joining his side. So you end Last Jedi basically going, wait, is Rey gonna turn? Is she gonna be a Sith, or is she gonna do this to try to turn him to good? You know what I mean? Like you could have left it so open-ended and it would have blown everybody up. But I felt like literally they didn't move a fucking inch. They're exact same places they were at the end of Force Awakens. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of shit I want to see. If you're gonna do that, like give me some fucking dark ending, dude. I don't give a shit about being happy sometimes.
Everybody got that?
Justice. I know Justice will like what is it? The Visions series. It's like Star Wars anime kind of.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna be doing.
Is that lined up? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like an anthology series.
Yeah, there's like 10 like standalone episodes. I don't know who all is doing it, but they said like the best anime artists or something is. Of course, they're gonna say it's the best, but that was the way they framed it.
Yeah. Do you know like who the focus will be character wise and time frame?
No. I know they just showed.
My expectation is that they're going to hop all over the place. That's probably the best bet to see like a pre Jedi story or a like after like I bet that's the place where they're going to dabble in the timeline the most. I think they're going to show some stuff that's like we have no context for they'll be like, oh, here is someone that existed in a time where we have no idea who anyone is or what they're doing.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to In the Life of a Droid. After all this other shit, it's like, wow, we're gonna see like a whole series about a droid. Cool.
Well, you know that's Disney. That's Disney slapping their trademark. Oh, cutesy. Let's turn the sidekick into an adorable. You know, like I know I'm late on this shit, but I just started playing. Well, not just started, but I'm in the middle of playing Jedi Fallen Order. Garbage game, by the way. It's fucking trash. But you can really see like the Disney kind of sprinkle on there, right? With what's his name, BD or BP or whatever.
BB-8,
the little droid, and he hangs on your shoulder, and he makes the little fucking quirky beeps and shit. So I'm pretty sure into the Life of a Droid will just be March of the Penguins, but with robots.
Right? Like the assembly line and all that shit. They're building.
Happy feet. Happy feet.
Someone
Morgan Freeman more shit.
They've done a bunch of that stuff in like the pre-days. Like I don't know exactly what they're doing with this one, but George Lucas I think did multiple animated droids series.
Yes, you did. Because there was actually ones that focused on C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah.
And then of course he also did the Ewok adventure movie.
I was gonna say those.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
There was a cartoon series that I think had Ewoks and droids.
Yes, there was.
There was.
And then also there was like what was it called? Lucasfilm or LucasArts Droid Builder, or it was a PC game where you designed and built droids. That was
dude, that's kind of cool though. It
was almost like a Sim. It was almost like a Sims kind of style game.
Yeah.
Where and you have to like save up money and buy different parts and do you give them legs or rotors or wheels or whatever?
When I saw that was going to be part of this, I was like, oh, it's just going to be like kind of like a WALL-E kind of thing, WALL-E. It's just going to be.
Yeah.
Which is it's a good movie. Yeah.
If that's the case, I'm down.
Yeah, but weirdly, Pixar I feel like is like the only Disney-owned studio that like cares about stakes. So like seeing like Lucasfilm do something. I have hope, but like you watch like something like Inside Out, and you look at the kind of emotional stuff they pull in that movie, and there's moments where it's like, oh, that's like a permanently altering like a psychological event we're watching happen right now. And I feel like in most of their other movies, they're like they dance that stuff, or like Pixar doesn't always undercut something with a joke with like, here's a serious moment, now we need a joke. Somehow they've kept like Pixar is and it's kiddie stuff, but like when they hit hard, they're not like, oh, here's a joke to make you feel better about that.
No.
Well, as of late, Pixar's really been fucking like in recent years. Up in the first 20 minutes, my man's wife dies. First, she has a miscarriage. She dies. He catches an assault and battery charge with a deadly weapon, and then he gets put on house arrest in a nursing home in the first 20 minutes of this child's movie. I was like, holy shit. Dark.
There's a lot of adult themes that are in Pixar. That's what makes them so great. That's what the kids are going, look at that. Oh my God, he's like putting balloons in it. And it's just that shit. And like the kids are enjoying the visuals while the adults are going, holy shit, this is cutting.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure you just broke down their recipe. That's how you make
you know what? And I don't know how you guys feel about the Buzz Lightyear origin. I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, Steven, you had a tweet about it where you said literally, I guess you said out loud, you said to your kids, like when they were watching Toy Story 2, how is there not like more?
I wish I had tweeted it now because it would have been it was like literally a week ago and it would have been the greatest moment of like, I would have had articles like this man called the Buzz Lightyear show last week. But because I literally was like, we were watching the opening of Toy Story 2 where he's like, it's in the video game, but you don't know it yet. And he's like fighting Zurg and all that stuff. And I was like, why is there not a Disney Plus series about this?
Well, there was already the animated series that came out, Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
I forgot about that. And someone mentioned that on Twitter. And so I put that on for my kids. And I started watching it. And we weren't watching the series. We were watching like they made there was like a 40-minute movie version.
Yeah, it was the pilot.
Yeah. And I put that on for my kids because they love Toy Story. And I was like, here's something like new to distract you. And I was watching. I was like, "Oh no!" Like I remembered my brother had that on VHS. We watched it like 100 times. It was one of those things where I didn't even remember it, and then it's on in the background. I'm like, I know all this dialogue. Like I could recite. Like I was saying quotes like for my kids before they happened, and I was like, "Wow, that was back in there somewhere."
Well, what's crazy about it? I saw this tweet. It was funny because it was like, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Is that meme of I forgot her name, but she's in 40-Year-Old Virgin, the manager, and they're like, have the tears on there, and they're like, yeah, Jane Lynch. They're like, it was just the quote of, we're gonna create shit that already exists. Like, I was like, exactly. I mean, that's all they fucking did was go, hey, we have all this. Like, they're not making new things. Like maybe 10% of it. I thought that was.
Of course, that's the way.
I mean, I know, but they also didn't give us any release dates either. So it's
and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, to hear Chris Evans, out of Buzz Lightyear's face, I'm like,
what a perfect.
Well, but it's about Buzz Lightyear, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I can accept it.
I love the like sort of PR spin behind that too, because they're like, all right, Tim Allen is canceled. Let's do. Yeah.
Tim Allen canceled?
Yeah,
of course, because he's Republican and conservative.
I didn't know that.
He complained about cancel culture or anything, and anyone that complains about cancel culture gets canceled. And so yeah, so when I said it was Chris Evans, I was like, oh, of course, like that's a pretty close. Like I bet
didn't he release a dick pic, dude? Are you kidding me? Fucking Chris Evans
released it. Yeah. And that's more acceptable than saying, "Hey, stop canceling people for having different opinions."
Are you kidding me? He's the one that fucking posted it.
Well, he didn't post it. It was caught in a.
He didn't post it.
No, he was doing a stream or something, and he opened his camera roll, and it was in his camera roll.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe it was accidental, but he did not. It's that he didn't say, "Here is my penis. Gaze on it."
Yeah. We're infinity and beyond.
He also had the.
This is America's dick.
Did it say like protect the pussy or something like that? It was some stupid fucking slogan with his face on it. I was like, oh, okay.
I know. I'm actually like very surprised, like how Chris Evans has not really gotten too much. I mean, I guess it's just the world we live in. It's like it was an accidental thing. It's Chris Evans. It's whatever.
That's America's dick, man.
America's dick.
Yeah, come on.
I think it's more like, Chris Evans is a Chad and Tim Allen is a neckbeard on Reddit. Nobody gives a shit about Tim Allen, right?
Yeah.
But
I get it though.
Abercrombie and Fitch model, so let's let him do whatever.
I mean, I get it because Tim Allen, he's up there in age. You can hear that in the voice. Obviously, if you're gonna have like this, origin story of Buzz Lightyear, you want like a fresh voice. And I can hear, Chris Evans maybe trying to. He's going to have to sound like that. So, and, he has.
One thing that I was curious about, though, that's really interesting about the way they present it. It reminds me of like the poster looks kind of like First Man. And they were really specific when they said the real life origin of Buzz. And it wasn't like the Buzz Lightyear origin story. They emphasized several times the real life origin. So there's a part of me that's wondering, like, wait, is there like an actual Lightyear astronaut in the Toy Story universe that Buzz Lightyear is like inspired by?
There's no way.
That's what it was kind of funny too.
There's no way they're making like a grounded Buzz Lightyear.
That'd be pretty cool. And that's what was kind of funny too. A lot of people are like, why would you do an origin story on a toy? And I'm like, it's not about the fucking toy. I love how Chris Evans had to clear that up. It was like, really? You have to clear it up for people? Just fucking that it's not about Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Especially when it's a toy that has such a vivid and specific narrative. Like the whole plot about like the first Toy Story is the fact that he's got this mythology in his head.
Yeah. That he thinks that he's on an alien planet and he's like all cautious and everything. Yeah.
Yes, and they make it clear there's a TV show and supporting characters and everything. And
video games, all kinds of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to flip the script.
I mean, a lot of people are upset.
Now go on, Ty. Go ahead and finish it.
I'm sorry. A lot of people are upset when Smith took over as Aladdin, but I thought he did. I mean, as the genie in Aladdin, and I thought he did well. I mean, that's me personally. I just don't. I don't think this is like enough to get all up in arms about.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. What were you gonna say, Garza?
I was gonna say I'm about to flip it because I don't know if you could tell. There's a shirt that I'm wearing. I don't know if you could see it. And I think it was on Wednesday, that you had mentioned to me that you had finished Raised by Wolves.
Oh yeah, finally.
Okay. Has everybody seen Raised by Wolves here in this panel?
I have not finished still.
God damn it, y'all! All right, well,
I am caught up on the flight.
I know, Garza. We're gonna have
He's not.
I'm sorry.
He's not.
It's okay.
He's not gonna watch it anyway.
By all means, do your thing.
No, I'm not. No, just because it's out of respect. But I will say this: it's a fantastic fucking show, and they sent me this gear, and that's why I had this shirt on.
It's a good shirt. I need to get that shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know if it's available for sale because they sent it to me as a promo. So hopefully, it's not.
Okay, big flex.
Okay. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. Anyways, no, but I don't know. I'm curious because this is Ridley Scott's like. I thought it was his like baby, but it's really not. It was actually Wazikowski. I think that's his last name. Grazikowski, I forgot it, but the creator of Raised by Wolves. And so during this whole Disney event, they also announced that Alien was going to be starting a show here on Earth
and I'm so
with Ridley Scott. And I went, are you fucking kidding me? Because this is what I've been saying. Like, why aren't you fucking giving us Alien prequel or Prometheus sequel or fucking War for Planet of the Apes? Like, series afterwards. Like, give me that Fox shit. I don't give a fuck about your goddamn cartoon characters. I give it Ridley Scott Alien. Like, dude, if he's show running it the entire way, because Raised by Wolves, he only directed 2 episodes. Now, granted, it has his aesthetic, and I love it. The fact that it does feel like Ridley Scott. But Alien is fucking Ridley Scott.
And the way that it ends, it was like, okay, come on, Scott had something in.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I'm sitting there like watching that ending, going, okay, how is this going to turn? How is this? Oh, that's how it turned.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, it had a very Alien vibe to it, and I was like, okay, Jesus Christ,
classic Ridley.
Oh, absolutely. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're going to be getting an alien on Earth through this series, like, what is that going to entail, right? I mean, are we going to see them go to, what is the planet Floor? What?
21.
LP 421.
Is that right?
Are they going to go there real quick and then bring it down to Earth to study it and it gets loose? Or how the fuck does it get back to Earth?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be interesting.
That should be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think they're going to allow on this alien show?
He said there's been multiple versions of this bouncing around for a while, but one of the last things that he said, like in an interview about it, and it may have been Noah Hawley that said this because it came out that he had discussions about it. But regardless, one of the two of them, last time they said anything about it was, like, is the xenomorph really like what Alien is? Like facehuggers and xenomorphs, we tried to move away from that a little bit in like Prometheus, and like people didn't react well, but also we kind of feel like that same Alien can't play out. And like the whole idea is like evolution and examining humanity through these creatures. And so they were legitimately questioning, like, are we allowed to change this, introduce other aliens or evolve this alien more? And so when the fact that it's set on Earth, I wonder, are they going to be like, no, we're required? Like, is Disney going to be like, no, the xenomorph is where the value is, and it, like, bring that? Or is it going to be like, I mean, know, but it could be totally different than anything we've seen before, though.
I thought when it came to Prometheus, when at the very end, when you actually saw like, oh, look at that, that's a xenomorph looking creature right at the end. I thought that was like perfect for, I mean, I like Prometheus. I like where they were headed, like what they were trying to do with all that. Have that whole prequel with the engineers and everything like that. And then all of a sudden at the very end, after all this shit that the whole story goes through, you see like a xenomorph creature. And it was like, okay, that was like a little like, hey, remember, this is leading to this. You know, you saw the creature with the head. And I thought they did that very well. And I'm just, but like you, Steven, I'm like, I'm hoping it's not just going to be some, fucking Alien versus Predator Requiem. I think that's what it was called, where it's just like it's on Earth and everybody's just, or the last Predator movie where it's just like it's on Earth and you have like a kid who's, synced up with something and then he finds something.
By the way, the alien that came out in Prometheus was called a neomorph.
Yeah, but it was that reminder that hey, remember
this is still alien. Yeah. Which my daughter.
Yeah.
When my daughter saw that, so the whole time I tricked her into seeing it. I tricked her into showing her. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna watch a sci-fi film," and she was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And by the time it ends and you see that neomorph, she went, "Oh, this is alien," because she didn't even know.
Hi.
Hey, Scott, that kid has more hair than you, man.
Yes, he does. He has my hairline, but has more hair. I understand how this works.
Scott, you a new dad?
This is my third.
Yeah.
So, yes,
veteran, been doing it.
Yeah, but he's fresh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, congrats.
He's a veteran. He's a veteran YouTuber. He's already been on a stream with Zack Snyder, so he's got his cred.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. But
Alien is like a really good example of, to me, and this happens all the time with any creative. You see it with bands a lot too, where it's like they'll do their first thing and it's a hit.
Oh,
and then they evolve it a little bit, and people are like, okay, cool, this is cool. And then they evolve it again, and people are like, no, why don't you do your greatest hits from the first two albums? And that's what you have with Alien.
Yeah.
The first Alien, you've got the one xenomorph, you got the face hugger, and it goes to the xenomorph. That's it. Alien 2, they're like, boom, there's a colony, here's a queen, like here's all this stuff going on, and then people are like, okay, cool. And then they go to do anything other than that. Like, no, you got to stick to the xenomorphs. Like, we already graduated this. Like, why can't we?
To get you a reference real quick, because I know this because I listened. I forgot who I was listening to, but they had talked about this. And the reason why the first album of any band usually is so good is because they spent literally their years to fucking produce that. Their life, blood, and sweat.
10
produce that first album.
10 plus years. Yeah.
So it's authentic and it's there. And after they make it, and now they got to make their second one. It's all right. Well, we need this in this time frame. We need it. It doesn't matter what you're feeling. We need this now. And so they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, all the ideas, not all the ideas, but most of even if you weren't working on it actively, you've had these ideas in your head for like 20 years or whatever of like a wish list for this album. And then you have to recreate 20 years worth of creativity in a year or 2 years.
And make it different, but also it's not the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I thought Prometheus. I thought Prometheus got way too much shade from Prometheus. I mean, it wasn't constant action and like if you like dialogue and actually watching a film for the deeper things, like Prometheus was amazing.
If Ridley Scott had J.J. Abrams did, I think it would have been way better received. But people knew about the alien connection beforehand, and so like the movie starts like, "Where's my xenomorph?"
Yeah,
What is all? And then it gets to the end. It's like that's not even a xenomorph, and it's like what?
And that's what
is like the objective to get xenomorphs in here. Like, why is that like a checkbox on your?
And that's what leads to Alien Covenant. That's what leads to Alien Covenant. It was like, I mean, literally the first trailer, like the last shot is just like a xenomorph on top of the ship. It's like, and it was like, oh yeah, what? This is an alien movie, guys. Yeah. It's like,
but I will say, Covenant is a legit. I love that movie too.
No,
like,
it's good.
So,
it's good,
but I feel like if this series focuses on the engineers, like truly, like it focuses on the engineers, and I don't mean it in any other way in any other show. So please don't. I'm not meaning it this way, but I just mean that if it starts out with the engineers, and at the very end of the first season we get to a neomorph or some kind of xenomorph, that'll be a legit fucking teaser of what's to come in this Alien series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scott knows what I'm talking about.
Isn't that essentially what Prometheus was? Wasn't it exactly what you just said?
Kind of, but not
figuring out.
Because when the planet that they go to in Prometheus, they already have all of their shit. You know what I mean? Like somebody had to have created that first pod to figure out, holy shit, this is dangerous. We can't be doing this. And let's put it on a different planet. Yeah. Whereas now we're finding out why these engineers, for one, why they even created this fucking thing, right? Like in my head, it makes no sense. Like, why would you create that? Now, granted, at the same time, why did we create the A-bomb? You know what I mean? But
it feels like a more efficient way of, if you see the first one when he like kills himself or whatever and dissolves into the
start life. Yeah.
So you look at if that's the way that they go around the universe starting life. To me, this feels like they were like, okay, how can we do that, but like way more efficiently? Or they're like, okay, we already started life. How do we mutate it now? How do we control it? Yeah, because that's very much, and that's why when David got a hold of that, I've only seen Covenant once, but that was the whole point of that, right? Was David got a hold of it and he was like, oh, look at all the stuff you can do with this. This is like,
So with the likelihood of the storyline being, the engine, I can't think of any examples, but I know this trope has been used before, right? They create the life, it gets out of hand. They don't know what to do with it, right? Xenomorphs, that wasn't the intention. They weren't supposed to be these mindless murder machines that they turned out to be. Now they're trying to figure out how to fucking contain such a because Alien puts an emphasis on like how dangerous these things really are, right? And like how they could just, in theory, wipe out planets at a time. So maybe it's, the engineers trying to figure out what we can fucking do about this. How can we stop this? How do we stop the Frankenstein that we created? Yeah.
Xenomorphs could also be seen as like an anti-engineer. That's a possibility too.
See, I was
conceptually, if you think about the way that Ridley works with this, he's looking at like creation, destruction. Yeah. Like, why do we exist? What is death? Like, and so it literally the life givers and the life takers would be his two.
I don't know. I think there's going to be something interesting that happens when it comes to like, humans and the way that we've evolved too. I think it's going to go really, I really hope that series goes deep into, I don't know, something with that. It's because the fact that it's taking place on Earth, there's going to be something interesting.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if it's the engineers starting life on Earth, and then it like progresses, and then they're about to, because obviously in Prometheus they're like, it's supposed to be 2,000 years ago that they were about to set off, and it's because essentially that would have been like the birth of Christ or whatever.
All I know is, if it's Ridley Scott, there's going to be some androids that get a little wonky because that's what he likes. There's going to be some
Christ motifs. I know.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So
something with milk. He's going to incorporate milk.
There's always.
And so I wonder if he's going to show us like, and kind of in similar fashion of like what he did with the war on Earth for Raised by Wolves.
Oh my God!
To show like. At 0 BC that humanity was just at a war and they were just fucking bad, and so the engineers are like, now let's go ahead and drop our newly made bomb that we just did and go test it out on them because they obviously don't give a shit about life. So, but then obviously it's
like that.
This has to be set after Aliens, right? Did they say anything about time? Because it can't be set before Prometheus because there's
it can't be. It's got to be after. It's got to be after it. Yeah.
So they didn't give a time frame.
No, we don't necessarily. I mean, it could literally, like, Prometheus could have been fucking literally the dawn of time, right? For our single cell organisms to join up, right? But they might not have. They didn't create the fucking xenomorph or eggs or anything like that at that point in time.
No, but if it exists on Earth and it happens anytime prior to like the events of Alien. Then none of the none of the themes that he's like playing with can really play out on Earth.
Because they're from Earth.
They can't have anything with the engineers. They can't have anything with the xenomorphs. Maybe there's some kind of alien encounter. I don't know if they specify whether or not there's been any encounter of life in space before in Alien. It's pretty stark backstory there, but
I don't think so.
No.
They're vague on it.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing, when what's his name gets like a face hugger on his face the first time, Ripley's just like, no, we're not bringing that shit on here. And then everybody else was like, oh yeah, we are. And then that's, I mean, but
they also
about, like, we don't know what it is. We don't know what it is.
Well, I guess they don't act like they discovered life, right? They're not like,
right.
hey, this is the first discovery of life in space. So,
but you got to remember, the company already knew that was out there. That was the whole.
Yeah, true.
That was the whole mission. So if they already knew it at that point, maybe they knew about exactly what they were getting into because of what we'll see in this Alien show. I don't know. Because remember, it's the company that did it.
That's just the Tyrell. Is that who? Or am I mixing Blade
Runner?
No,
Wayland.
Thank you. Which is also in Blade Runner, though. I think, right? Doesn't Wayland get Blade Runner?
No, Tyrell is Blade Runner,
right? But I thought, but there's an alien link in Blade Runner.
He said that there was an alien that is the Earth of Alien Blade Runner.
But, I mean, it makes sense when you look at all the fucking structures. They're like pretty goddamn similar to the if you look at the spaceships.
Yeah, but so
interesting.
But anyway, regardless, I think that's kind of where that everyone thought that series was going, and if it's set on Earth, what they would probably do is Wayland would get the face hugger back to Earth, right, or something along those lines. That's I don't know how creative to be with my thinking here because it's a Disney owned thing, but my assumption about what they would want is xenomorph breakout on Earth is like probably what was requested of them. I think what we need is xenomorph on the Empire State Building. Can you do that? Like,
well, hey guys, I'm gonna have to bounce because we're having 4-month sleep regression. And there's no reason that this guy should be this awake
at midnight.
Man.
Yeah, it's midnight over there. Yeah. It's midnight. All right,
that's my computer. With beer all over my computer. Nice.
Kick him out. No. Kick him out. Show him life is rough. Tell him he's out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead.
Nice meeting you.
Absolutely. So you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You listen to my podcast, DC Film Squadcast at squadcastmedia.com.
There you go. All right, Scott.
That was a hell of a plot, too.
All right, take it easy, Scott.
But I do think that, it literally could be like Wayland discovering the first alien and the reason why they even do the whole fucking Nostromo's ship. You know what I mean? Like, what if we're discovering that and they're like Wayland's studying this unknown creature? Like, how the fuck did they know that facehugger was going to create that?
I think the conversation is why it's hard for me. Like, I'm excited, but especially when it's like a Disney-owned thing, it's hard for me to be excited about it unless it's like we're just letting Ridley do whatever he wants. And the fact that it's set on Earth to me kind of says that that's not what we're getting.
I know.
Listen, I feel like I feel like Ridley's at the age right now. He's not going, man, I need some work, dude. You know what? He's been making
3 years old.
I'm doing it. Yeah, dude. If he's gonna do something, he's gonna fucking do it his way. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking about too. I'm like,
but we also don't know how involved he is. The fact that Noah Hawley is involved, I'm kind of getting the idea that like Ridley is like an EP and Hawley is going to be the showrunner.
Well, if that's Ridley Scott's helping out with the idea, like, wait, hey, let's do this idea, blah blah blah, and bam.
I don't know if you watched it or like the behind. Like again, I'm a huge Raised by Wolves fan, so I'm sorry, I'm a fucking sucker for it. But I watched a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. And even though Ridley directed 2 episodes, and even though he wasn't the brainchild of this fucking the show, he was so fucking involved with storyboards, with the aesthetic, with everything that it felt like, and they even said it, like they were basing it off of Ridley Scott's pre-production stuff. That's why
it definitely felt like a Ridley Scott movie. I don't know.
So, right. So if he was doing that, he was only directing. He wasn't show running it. He was just directing 2 episodes. If he was that involved with Raised by Wolves and he's going to be involved in Alien, I feel like they're like, yeah, no, dude, we're doing that. We're going to give you full control.
We got it. I don't know. Maybe we'll see Guy Pearce again. That's what I'm looking forward to. Guy Pearce is Wayland. Come on.
What if they had Michael Fassbender in the series, dude?
Oh, dude, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right? As David?
I think that's going to happen. I mean, come on. It could happen.
Dude has been averaging over a movie a year since the year 2000 as a director.
Really?
Ridley
yeah.
Scott.
Or,
He did Gladiator in 2000. Let's see, he did 2 in 2001, 2 in 2003,
Yeah,
3 in 2005, 1 in 2000.
whatever fucking diet or whatever like regimen or supplements he's on, I want, because he's 83 fucking years old and he just keeps going.
Some of these are like episodes, like some of these are shorts or episodes of a TV show, but still, like this is the efficient. And I've heard that he's like brutally efficient, obviously, because like with all the money in the world, he's like, yeah, cool, we'll dump Kevin.
Yeah, didn't like they said that for like The Martian. He was just go.
Well, he's other than Zack, I've never known of any director that's an art director, like an art that comes from art background. And so when I heard that Ridley Scott was, I was like, oh, it fucking makes sense. That's why his shit looks so unique.
Goddamn good.
Well, and it makes it. I think that he does enough. He does. It's crazy to think of him doing so much pre-production because of how much work he does. Period. But as we've kind of seen with Zack, the more storyboards and pre-production prep and stuff that you do, once you get in front of camera, you're like, just follow. I drew it all out. Just follow that.
Here.
Like,
and then he literally says that he's like, he's like flipping through his like storyboards. He's like, yeah, the film opens up with a problem. That's how it starts. And I was like, fuck yeah, Ridley. Like, you got this Raised by Wolves shit like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, that'll probably be like one of the things I would ask Snyder again if I ever were to talk to him, is like, how fast and efficient are you? I mean, we've seen behind the scenes stuff. I mean, one of the things that I'm like remembering right now is when in BVS when Gal Gadot is doing her little, she does her little step up and then does that, and he goes bam, and it's almost like it was like the first take, and it was like, we got it, go. Yeah, he's just holding up like the screen, and then he just goes, boop, we're good. You did it perfectly. You practice it. We're perfect. One take. That's all it was, and bam.
I was told you can tell when he likes his takes because he has 2 yeses. He'll do 2 things at the end of a take. He'll either go yes or he'll go yes. And if he says yes, everyone is like, okay, cool, we're moving on to the next.
Well, I mean, hey, you ought to know, right, Steven?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us, buddy?
I know you saw something. Anyways, all right. So when it comes to so I'm gonna bring up a video submitted question that was pulled from Twitter right here. Oh, hold on. Let me because I gotta share the screen here. Oh, well, hold on a sec. Let's see. Let me do it like, how am I gonna do this? Crap. He sent it to me through Twitter.
Share the tab.
Yeah.
Oh, is it in your DMs?
Yeah, it's in my DMs. I'm like trying to. All right. Well, okay, we can. Okay, let's see. All right, I'll do it like this. Okay.
Just play the audio.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the audio. This is from William, who was part of the Sci-Fi Center in Vegas, and he was actually, when I did my fan stream, a lot of people dug what he had to say. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay. Can you guys hear that?
My question is
barely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Earlier today, Denis Villeneuve and a couple other directors have pretty much bashed Warner Brothers and HBO Max regarding their decision to go straight to streaming. Do you think that those directors themselves will face backlash since most film fans don't know the minutia that has to go into filmmaking and profit and loss? Thanks. Bye.
So he's talking about the backlash. Of like, yeah.
I can't wait till y'all get to me.
So we're obviously William asked, when it came to all the stuff, the HBO Max. I mean, obviously Christopher Nolan's been the head of all this, and then of course we have Denis or Denis Villeneuve. Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve.
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 What
did you say?
Denis Villeneuve. It's French, but he's Canadian.
Okay.
French, Quebec. Yeah. So obviously we're talking about that. That's what he's asking. So I mean, obviously, we've talked about it before. It's like the biggest thing. I mean, the takeaway from it. It's like, obviously this was always going to be the case. Where we're headed right now. I mean, the pandemic just accelerated it to 2021. And it was probably going to happen in 2026, for all we know, or probably even earlier. Who knows? But when it comes to all this, they are receiving backlash. But it is kind of interesting because it almost seems like when they're complaining about this and talking about the movie theaters, blah, 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 they're making it seem like these movies aren't going to the movie theaters at all. Like, oh yeah, it's all going to be exclusively at your home. Don't go to the movie theaters, blah, blah, blah. But it's like HBO Max literally said, hey, it's going to be on both. Go watch it in IMAX. Patty Jenkins is really pushing, like, please, if you have a place that's safe, go watch it on IMAX. Please do that. But these guys are making it, sometimes they're making it seem like it's not the case, but it is the case. It's weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ty.
So I bought my tickets for IMAX Wonder Woman like 3 days ago, right? And they were like, this would have already been sold out. This would have, you would have had a tough time finding a show. There was 5 tickets sold for the particular showing that I'm going to. So I think that like, as a filmmaker, being in art, you need to adapt. This is a really tough time for everybody. And it was going to, like you said, it was going to happen 5 years down the road, 6 years down the road. I think this was the smartest decision that the studio could make. I don't like Disney's approach with a $30 premium. I think this is the lesser of two evils in a good balance. So I do think that Warner Brothers made the best call for what's going on.
Okay. What about you, Jeff?
So I also agree with you that, down the line, a couple years from now, this was going to happen regardless, right? But it was going to happen slowly but surely, right? But due to coronavirus, they don't really have those options, right? A lot of luxuries were lost and a lot of quick snap decisions need to be made because they still need to release this content. Now, you got to keep in mind, most places, like me and Drizzle, we're in Boston and theaters are open. But a lot of cities, our producer, Jack, Philly is 100% shut down. There is no theater to go. So what happens to people in Philly? They don't get to see the movie. It gets released. We get to go to the theaters. But what about people where theaters are completely shut down still? They don't get to see the movie now. So I think considering the circumstances and everything going on, and if you take in all the factors, yes, this is the best bet. And yes, I also agree this is much better than Disney's approach, slapping a $30 price tag on a movie nobody wanted in the first place.
Indeed. By the way, I've been meaning to mention, I love your Rick and Morty hoodie, by the way. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I love that job, of course. What do you think, Steven?
I think that I'm like very supportive of the decision to put the movies to HBO Max. I think financially they kind of had to, and it was going to happen eventually anyway. And I think per everyone's point, it's also releasing in theaters still. Yeah. Also, the international market doesn't have HBO Max yet still, and that's where Tenet was profitable or the closest to profitable. As far as like their reactions, I kind of have like 3 different thoughts on it, but I think I understand why they're like, while I don't agree with what they are saying about, like, I think that Warner Bros. Made the right decision. They may even know or agree with that, but the way that Warner Bros. Went around it really undermined their influence, especially for guys like Nolan and Villeneuve, where like they are like the prestige directors. They're supposed to have a say in this. They're supposed to have an influence. And so to have this happen to them, and not only have it happen, but have it happen like without consultation. And like Denny said that he found out like reading it in the media kind of makes him look like a bitch a little bit, right? When like he's supposed to be like the guy, they're the auteurs that cater the audience experience. So and they're used to kind of having that influence, and they're both kind of seen as like champions of the theatrical experience. And so not only is it like cutting down their cause, but also cutting down their influence and relevance in the film industry by going against them, and other people to many other extents also. I don't know how much the second one is, it kind of, I don't know like legally how many deals it violates, but everyone, actors, crew, directors, sign on to projects with an expectation of how it's going to release. And sometimes that includes residuals or back end points. And who knows if the box office in 2021 would be significant enough for those residuals to even, be a huge deal. And whether or not converting it to, if there's going to be some sort of a point conversion if it goes streaming. Like if they say, okay, it doesn't make the same amount at the box office, but we'll give you X% of X dollar, Y dollars per view or whatever. I don't know. So, but regardless, there is a sort of a contractual issue going on of like, okay, we signed on to this movie with the expectation of a release, and then without negotiation, without consultation, you just completely changed it on us. There could be contract violations or legal discussions, or if you're going to go into business with them again in the future, how are you going to sign a deal with them? We're like, well, last time we had a deal, you like totally cut out on it. Which ties into like my third view on it is that I kind of feel like they're just being performative. Like they know that this has to happen. They know this is gonna happen. But because of who they are, they've got to make a fuss about it. Because like imagine like, oh yeah, what did Christopher Nolan do when the theaters died? Nothing. He just sat by and let Warner Brothers do it, right? Like, and so, but also like we're talking about contracts. These people are going to have to go to the negotiating table again with Warner Brothers in the future to negotiate for a movie, and you're coming from a complete place of weakness. If you go to that table and you're like, okay, I'm going to demand more money this time, and they're like, yeah, but last time we totally bitch slapped you and changed the release date to streaming, and you had no say in it, and you didn't even complain. So like we're gonna, it's like you're approaching it from a place of weakness. You don't want to establish that precedent. So like I kind of get why they're frustrated and kind of get where they're going, and I don't think it's even necessarily like a like Nolan said. He's not saying like let's everyone just like open up and go back to theaters. He's saying, look, we released Tenet. We saw what did and didn't work. We saw the international market worked. We saw domestic didn't. What can we find about how these movies are made or where they're released or when they're released to try to work within the system to do it in a safe way that's still profitable. I think all that nuance is being lost. And then the fact that it's like their job to complain about it, and then they'll go along with it anyway, right? They don't have a call. That like at the end of the day, I think that's the biggest thing is they're like, okay, yeah, we kind of have to go along with this, but we want to like make it clear that it is against our will. Since this argument didn't get to play out behind the scenes, because they didn't consult us and we didn't do this business negotiation behind the scenes, now we're going to do it in the press. Yeah. And you brought up that good point too. Yeah. Like normally we don't hear about that. And I think even today you tweeted out like when the fucking video rental blockbusters, Hollywood videos out there that, all those video, when that got destroyed, we didn't hear a stink about that. Like literally but then I don't know how, given there wasn't like a prestige, like name me a director that's a champion of the video rental store experience, right? Like it's a little bit different. Quentin Tarantino. Right? Yeah, actually, that's very true. But yeah, because he worked that one. So you don't have that exact same thing. But I think that what is interesting in that capacity, though, is that movies are not ending. Like theaters are just a venue, and I don't mean to say just like it's a part of history and culture. So I don't mean to diminish it. But theaters are just a venue, and they can die and go away, and that'd be a terrible thing. But movies will continue to live, and as long as movies are alive, theaters can't exist without movies. But movies will exist even when theaters are gone. And so if theaters die, that'd be terrible. Well said. I wouldn't support that. But well said. Like 10 years from now, whatever, someone's like, hey, I got a great idea. Let's build a big building where we show movies that are on HBO Max. People would be like, that'd be cool. I can't build a screen that big at home. Like there's going to be, so it's going to be different. It's not going to be nearly as big as it is now, but it will continue. The industry just has to evolve to accommodate for a different world.
This could be revived.
I guess I just like, when they made this announcement, I guess I just thought that like, they got everybody together and had like a big meeting, and then like to find out that that's not how it went, I was just like, wow. I mean, that's well, and they I don't know what they would do.
Look at the backlash and imagine that they found out this was going to happen before the announcement. They would have blocked it, or they would have would have spiked it with like bad PR in the press or something. And so notice how positive the reaction to it was because it was a surprise. They knew, hey, we have to do this. We have to throw our head over the fence. Otherwise, they'll try to stop it, or someone is going to leak it and try to make it look bad before we do it. It's AT&T taking the reins from like Warner Brothers screwing up every announcement previously. Like, notice how Warner Brothers movies are always like, oh, hey, they're planning this stupid movie, and everyone's like, yeah, that is a stupid movie. Whereas if they're like, oh, hey, let's get ahead of this, then they get to cater to like, no, here's why that movie is cool, and then it'll get like that pre-spin from whoever's like trying to make it negative.
Right.
Anyway, Garza's patiently waiting his.
No.
I know. Garza, what are you going to say? Go ahead.
Wrong!
Just kidding. Don't. Yeah. Just
first off, I put out a tweet when that came out. It was funny because a lot of people at the very beginning when it first got out there, everybody's. I don't know if that's just certain people that don't even follow me that don't know who I am. We're like, oh man, this is hilarious. Like, you're an idiot, calling me names and thinking that I was going to be ratioed comment wise to likewise all that shit because I know that I was fucking around to an extent. But I wrote. I
think Christopher Nolan engineered his audio.
I'm glad it failed. Nolan, and I period it. You know what I mean? Like, there was no GIF, there was nothing. It was just that was the sentence, right? And then I woke up the next morning, and guess what? It wasn't ratioed. It was just it was normal, right? And
people are finally realizing how you tweet. Yeah,
they realize how. Yeah, yes, I'm being facetious, but I am really talking shit because here's the thing, right? I think Nolan, when he came out and he said that HBO Max was the worst streaming service ever. Like, first off, dude, how fucking disrespectful is that? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, dude, I hate Marvel to a passion, right? But I'm never gonna sit there and say they're the worst studio ever, right? Because that's dumb. Like, I can hate them, but no, I'm not gonna just do that, right? And so for Nolan to be that fucking upset because Tenet made $350 million worldwide. Sorry, bro, you didn't hit $1 billion. And you were the golden child and savior of the fucking theaters in July when we're still going through this. You highly underestimated America. Let's put it that way, okay? So I thought Nolan was being a bitch back then. Like I a few days ago, he was being a bitch. I'm sorry. Like dude has probably a $1 million home theater system in his house. He has fucking recliner chairs. He probably has a big ass silver screen with unbelievable fucking sound system that he can literally watch whatever the fuck he wants.
And he watches Tokyo Drift on it.
Yeah, correct. He can watch Tokyo Drift all he wants on it. And he has the audacity
about that. Yeah,
like he has the audacity to sit there and say that HBO Max is the worst streaming service. Like,
yeah,
dude,
I didn't agree with that
because
at all.
all because you're fucking upset that they did something that is literally a service to fans that watch your shitty fucking Tenet film. Okay, it's no fans that got you that.
It's whack.
I'm not finished, Steven. I'm not finished, Steven. No. So the fact that he came out here and he fucking said that he had the audacity and the balls to act like all high and mighty. Like he had literally day in and day out for the past couple of years has made Oscar-winning, fucking unbelievable, breathtaking. I can't believe he's made these many films. And to say that that's the worst streaming service? Fuck you, Chris Nolan. Okay? That's me saying, fuck you, Chris Nolan. I love Interstellar. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm literally just saying, like, dude, come down your high horse, okay? Icarus, he had those fucking wings, remember? He flew too close to the sun. He fell into the fucking ocean, okay? All I'm saying is, dude, Warner Brothers allowed you to release your film in the theaters like you fucking wanted, like a baby, and guess what? It didn't fucking happen the way you thought it was going to happen. And what they did, they decided, well, guess what, Chris? We're going to use you as a fucking example of why we're doing this shit for 2021. Sorry, that's what it's going to happen. So you can bitch all you want. I don't give a shit. So then, okay, you're going to have Denny Villeneuve, who I fucking love as well. Denny is a bigger bitch, okay? Because let me just go ahead and just throw this out here, okay? This motherfucker wants Dune to fail harder than Blade Runner, okay? In 2017, Blade Runner was made for about $185 million. You know how much that fucking thing grossed in theaters? About $260, okay? So I apologize, Denny, if you think.
I mean, he's done more to hurt theaters than.
Yeah. People are gonna people are gonna go see Dune, which they have no fucking idea about. I don't. I'm gonna go see it because I love him. fuck you, dude. I'm sorry. You have no right to sit there and say that AT&T is destroying fucking cinema and art and the history of it, all because AT&T is catering to their customer clientele because they're a business. Yeah. I apologize that you have enough faith in America to sit there and be done with the pandemic from March to fucking May, and that Chris Nolan was going to save us in June. I'm sorry, dude. Like, fuck both of these directors.
Well, yeah,
stupid asses. Okay?
And we have a new one. We have a new director that came out with Judd Apatow, and I'm like, dude, you just released your last fucking movie on a streaming service. What the fuck?
So here's what I'm going to say, right?
Listen, not like he's up there with them,
right? Listen, well, maybe, but he hasn't made that big of hits. But so if you take these two directors, right, and you think about them as being arrogant, as being like, come down your high horse, right? Guess who the fuck was ahead of the curve, and guess who's literally leaning back in his chair, going, "I'm fucking fine with all of this." By the way, yeah. Mr. fucking Zack Snyder. Because guess what? He fucking read this a year ago. And he went, I'm going to go with Netflix. All right, cool. Oh, you know what? HBO Max wants to bring in my Zack Snyder Justice League possibly on their HBO Max streaming service. Done. Let's do it. Let's fucking absolutely do it. Streaming, I'm all about HBO Max. I'm all about Netflix. Let's do it. Oh, Netflix, you want to do a prequel animation series? Oh, you also want to do another film to My Army of the Dead? Let's fucking do it. Streaming.
Yeah.
Dude, it was always Zach? Yeah, imagine Zach going, oh, man, they're just ruining the cinema experience. He's going, first off, motherfucker, I'm allowing HBO Max to release my 4-hour fucking cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max as an exclusive. And now all you motherfucking 17 films are now joining my shit. I didn't want you guys to be on my fucking shit. You know what I mean? So if I was him, I'd be upset. I'd be like, yeah, I think they did the wrong thing because I wanted to be only on HBO Max. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you, Nolan.
It is kind of interesting too how, like, you know, we have HBO Max that announced that pretty much changed the game, and then there's all this like backlash and people like talking about it. Then all of a sudden Disney, like we talked about at the beginning of this, especially, you know, with the pop guys, is like they fucking pulled out that big veiny dick, and nobody was like going, well, what the fuck about the theaters and shit like that? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, all of a sudden, like, Disney does, like, they talk about all this content that's going to be on their streaming service, and it's like, oh, yeah, but there was no backlash? I mean, like,
no, but this is all stuff that was engineered for the purpose of putting on streaming, though. They're not, like, they're 2021, and, I mean, to be fair, they're 2020 theatrical, whatever got delayed, is, like Black Widow, they said, is coming to theaters in May, I think, or June. Yeah, May.
May.
And so, like,
May.
and so, whereas the change that was made by WB for HBO Max was to take stuff that was going to hit theaters, and now it's hitting. Now they're splitting between theaters and HBO Max. Whereas everything that Disney announced was never going to be in theaters in the first place. Oh, I mean, other than like the movies that they said, you know, will be in theaters. Let's put it this way. Squadron
if Disney would have done this, which they wouldn't have, right? And again, it goes back to my thoughts, and Steven knows how I feel about it, right? Where I look at the IP that Disney has and owns, and the fact that they're not utilizing it the way that HBO Max seems to be doing, or at least potentially doing. If you were to tell me, well, okay, out of all those Disney shows, and I say Marvel because that's the comic book version, right? Not Star Wars. Star Wars is different. But Marvel, when you look at the Marvel slate, tell me one fucking series that they announced during their panel that's more hype than Zack Snyder's Justice League. Absolutely none, right?
There's not one.
There's not. And I mean that as in, let's just assume, right, for shits and giggles, that we had no idea that they were developing a fucking Thor series or a Hulk series or an Iron Man series, a prequel series, or I don't know what, not Iron Man, but you know what I mean, before he dies. But like
they are with Rhodey.
They are. Yeah, it's Iron Wars.
Right. Well, right, but you know what I mean, though. Like with Tony Stark. I mean not Tony Stark, but with like But what I mean though is that, like, I'm talking about Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, those main fucking Captain America, Chris Evans, on Disney Plus, and they're coming out with a series of their own with their character, Captain America, Thor. You'd be fucking blown away. You'd be like, holy shit, dude. Yeah. They're serious. And yet nothing of that is on that caliber where they're going, oh, guess what? We have Ben Affleck's Batman, and we have Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, and we have Henry Cavill's Superman that's going to be exclusively on HBO Max.
Right, but that's one instance, and the only reason that happens is because of what they did with it when it was supposed to be in theaters.
But I get that, but here's the thing: you can't imagine that they're not going to try to milk that as much as they can.
No, right? Sure, but if you're comparing the decision making here, like I think to be clear, like I am 100%. I think that this is the best decision for HBO Max to make.
Wait, real quick though, you got to also remember Green Lantern Corps, Gotham City Police Department, fucking not the Peacemaker that's big of a deal, but also Justice League Dark. Okay, go on, Steven.
There's gonna be more too.
Is that confirmed? Dark.
Which one?
Yeah.
Is Justice League Dark? Yeah, because I haven't gotten any solid.
There's been no news on it for a long time.
It's J.J. Abrams. So we're not going to know about shit anyway. So.
Yeah, but I trust JJ with my heart.
But I agree 100% with the decision that WB is making with HBO Max, and it's completely necessary because streaming revenue is now more than theatrical revenue, and HBO Max, to Nolan's point, is the smallest of all the streaming services. And so in order for them to it's more important that they grow HBO Max as fast as possible than the value for these films is greater as a growth tool for HBO Max than they are for whatever theatrical revenue is possible, because they need to get that number up as high as possible so that long term they have more financial stability. Because in 2020 they made no money in theaters, and so they need that streaming revenue that's going to be consistent and going to be bigger than theatrical. And so they're saying, look, we're going to fall on our sword here. If HBO Max had been as good about getting content prepped and into production as Disney was with Disney Plus, I don't think they'd be making this decision. And I would probably feel different about this decision if they had this kind of a slate that Disney had. But this is because Warner Brothers spent years degrading these brands, because HBO Max, while HBO is great, they aren't great at the volume of production that Disney Plus is doing in order to support the service. And so in another world where HBO Max existed and they were able to announce a slate like this with with all these different solo series for Harry Potter, DC, Lord of the Rings, whatever. If they had the Lord of the Rings show on HBO Max instead of on Amazon, and if they were able to do that, here's a bunch of Justice League Dark shows. Then they did this, I would be like, Nolan's absolutely right. Villeneuve's absolutely right that this is not necessary. They've got this stuff to grow this brand. They are destroying the go ahead and save these movies another year. But because of because W destroyed the brand for 10 years because they didn't have enough prepped for HBO Max, because they didn't get a streaming service launched period until as late as they did. It's a necessary evil to do it the way they're doing it. And I think it will hopefully, it's the first sign of them kind of turning this ship around, and it's a ripping the Band-Aid off, and it's a bad, nasty kind of situation. But it's I compared it to 27 hours, or is it 127 hours?
127 hours, yeah.
Where
you gotta cut it off, dude. Fuck
exactly. No, you don't. No, it's terrible to cut your arm off, but
but
you want to die down there. And that's what they're doing here. And so that doesn't mean that you can be like, Disney should be cutting their arm off. No, Disney doesn't need to cut their arm off because they fucking took enough water into the desert with them.
Right. Now, I will say this, so with Disney, and I get that they want to have that theatrical presence, and they're going to charge you $30 to watch their films, shitty though they be, right?
They pulled back from that, didn't they? I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure they announced.
Raya and the Dragon will be on that same premiere access kind of.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't say anything about Black Widow coming on Disney Plus for free or whatever.
No mention.
But it's something that I've been
theatrical.
And I'm going, exactly, sticking theatrical, and I'm going to plug myself real quick on the Real Emotion, like I have. over the past couple of months,
I got to refill.
have always said that, guess what? The fact that HBO Max is willing to release Zack Snyder's Justice League means that, for me personally, I can look at that as a business decision and say they're willing to invest however much it needs to be to have Batman, have Superman, have Wonder Woman on their platform exclusive. Like, tell me that if you had to watch on Disney Plus a series involving Rey or Finn or Poe Dameron or somebody that important of the sequel trilogy, right? Like, who cares about the sequel trilogy? I do, kind of. You know what I mean, though? Like, if you had those main characters, if you had those main actors and those main characters and their storyline from the Skywalker trilogy continue on a Disney Plus series, you're telling me that people would want to watch that. They'd be fully involved, but they wouldn't do it. Disney won't do it because they want to save it for theatrical, right? Okay, so the fact that I've been preaching this and I've been saying that HBO Max, I feel like they'd be willing to invest $250 to $300 million on another Zack Snyder's Justice League season 2. Like, I feel like they could do that.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna read you a quote.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, right. Because
you hear what Keelar said in an interview recently about how the streaming model can support $1 billion movie.
I'm going to read you his quote. Okay, this is what Jason Keelar had to say. Who is the CEO of Warner Media? He said, "So a couple of things with movies. I think the budget of a blockbuster movie in our future is going to be over $1 billion. I absolutely think that." Now, let's just pause right there. He thinks a budget for a movie is going to be over $1 billion, right?
That's
y'all's reaction. Exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what the interviewer was like. What?
What? That Cameron movie.
He said, you know what?
Somewhere James Cameron's ears perked up, and he's like, "What?"
He was like, "Okay." So this is what he said. That's where we're heading, and the reason why, Kara, is that because we have the economic model to be able to support it. I'm not saying today, but if you play this out when a typical leader subscription service of general entertainment has, say, 600 million paying global subscribers at those levels, you can reasonably invest $1 billion in a movie and have confidence that it's going to be very good economic endeavor. Okay.
Yeah.
And he said, it's not hyperbolic. Yeah. He's not saying that it's hyperbolic to say that $1 billion thing is just a matter of time, but I don't want to think that it will be every movie. I think that the internet and the business model that you're seeing with HBO Max is something that is incredibly scalable that allows us to do a lot of things that we couldn't do today.
What I mean by that is a subscriber count that is like 4.5 times bigger than Netflix is right now.
Right.
So, and
he's talking about way future.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds real good in theory and on paper and everything. But if you ask me,
you also got to remember. Well, you got to remember. So HBO Max literally just got 4 million subscribers because of this announcement.
Yeah.
So I looked at that number and I did 4 million times $14.99 just in general, right? Like, fuck it. It's a normal number. It's an even number. Who cares? Now, that is a 1 month charge, and that was at $69 million.
69.
Right.
69, baby. Bitch. So when you think about that, now obviously let's just assume that not all of that money is going to be there. That's still double-digit fucking $1 million in 1 month of gross.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not going to sit there and go, "Oh man, can we afford $250 million? For a show, for a 10 episode Justice League fucking show."
It's not.
And I think
it's not whether or not they can afford it. It's whether or not, like you had mentioned, he said in the quote that it would be worthwhile, essentially. That he said that it's fair to assume that if we put $1 billion plus into a movie, it's fair to assume that it will be lucrative and we can at least see that money back. And I feel like that, in theory, that sounds great and everything. And I'm going to use Justice League as an example because you are right. The hype for Justice League is a lot bigger than any Disney Plus show coming out. But I promise you the disappointment leaving Justice League is going to be just as big, if not bigger. I promise.
Yo, you're out of your fucking mind, kid.
You're out of your mind. I have 2 feature-length movies as evidence.
Fucking
Man of Steel Batman. No, sorry, 3. I have 3. Man of Steel, BVS Ultimate Edition.
Yo,
3 movies.
You made it 2 hours and 45 minutes without saying that bullshit, and then you just and then you come in and say it.
Wait,
yeah.
You saying you don't like BVS?
He doesn't.
No, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Oh,
not even kind of. Not
right.
even kind of.
Let the the comment section about to roast you, kid. So let's just move on from that really quick.
I had no, and it's fine. Like people, like I talk to people all day that don't agree with it. I had no idea you didn't like BVS because at the end of the day, that's my favorite film. Me and my daughter, our top favorite film, Ultimate Edition. It is the best.
Ultimate Edition, baby.
Best. It is the best film I have ever fucking seen in my life, and I've seen it over 450 times. So, that's not
BVS Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
No. It's the greatest film of all time.
I'm gonna say this though, okay? That Zack Snyder has enough power to not only make Zack Snyder's Justice League fucking just absolute bonkers, go crazy.
Banger.
Before it comes out in a film or before the series is up, we are going to get an announcement that he is continuing his Justice League. Okay, so for your distaste for not liking it, I apologize. Like I can't help that. I can tell you that is the greatest thing that's going to happen is that we're going to get season 2 of Justice League, and it's going to be on a $250 to $300 million budget. It's probably going to be 8 episodes, if not maybe 6 again, or 6 to 4. But it'll be the greatest thing to happen for HBO Max. Because guess what?
Look,
if you want to watch a different Batman, if you want to go watch a different Batman, you have that option, right? If you want to go see Wonder Woman 84 in theaters, you have that option.
Right.
And
very true.
So it's like I feel like with what they're planning on doing as far as HBO Max is concerned, they only care about HBO Max. And guess who the biggest fucking director is that they have for HBO Max? Zack Snyder.
Very true. That's very true. That's very true.
By the way, do you guys know what the yearly revenue of a streaming service, like let's say HBO Max had 600 million subscribers? Has anyone done the math on?
I can't even put that together.
It's $108 billion.
Oh my god! Oh yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
And what I was gonna say earlier, that we'll be talking about $1 billion budgets. I mean, you got to think so. Even with what Disney's doing with the volume, like technology, CGI, visual effects, the cost of actors, everything's rising at an exponential rate. You look at Robert Downey Jr.'s cost just to get him into Spider-Man movies. So, yes, that doesn't even surprise me at all that $1 billion will be put into a movie. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
The Avatar movies are already either doing. It's 3 of them for $1 billion, right? I think.
Yeah, I mean it's 3
movies. No.
Avatar movies, right?
4 sequels for $1 billion, I think was the deal. Which so I guess maybe that's not really a good. That was not a good gotcha. That shows how far they have to go.
I think the first $1 billion budgeted movie would be like a fucking DC versus Marvel movie, which we'll probably get there in about 12 years. It's going to be that.
I'm going to go ahead and give it to Marvel. I'm going to say they're going to be the first ones to do it.
I think. Well, I think $1 billion. I think if you're going to do $1 billion,
no one cares what you think anymore.
You have
the moment you said BVS is not good, I went.
BVS sucks. It sucks.
It doesn't, man. Hey, I would love for my daughter to be on here. She'd be like, "What'd you just say?" She'd be like, my daughter would be like, "Well, that's cool, but why?"
What's your address? What's your address? Let me come kick the shit out of you.
You'd be like this. Oh, why? Because I think it's amazing.
Maybe in the playground at 3 p.m.
This is how we settle movie fights.
We just fight.
I can't see them doing a $1 billion movie and not making it a series. I don't know how you get $1 billion of production value onto screen.
We're not
without,
there. We're not there.
What I assumed his statement meant was $1 billion stretch over 10 1-hour-long episodes. That's 10 hours, dude.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Let's just assume.
Let's
just assume.
Yeah.
We have okay, for Snyder, he got $250 million, and he made a 3.5-hour film. Okay, exponentially times that by 3. What does that get? That's close to $1 billion. You get what I mean? So,
well, also there's a point of diminishing returns, especially when we get that far along. That like how much money, like look for example with Mandalorian and like the volume and stuff. The cost and effort to do this kind of stuff.
Let me ask you. Here, I'll ask you this question: how many extras and all these extra people do you see in Mandalorian? Like it's not a lot. You're not seeing
not a lot.
You're not seeing fucking massive people, right? Like
and it
imagine
shows
the Lord of the Rings, right?
Right, but even I mean, Lord of the Rings was done like for less than 100. Yeah, but like Lord of the Rings was done for like 100 million.
Well, I mean about the fight scene, like having that many people involved on screen.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is they did that, and so like, and that was 100 million, and so the packing that with more money without drastically extending the runtime, aka splitting it up into a series, is like you're not going to be able to like our eyes, especially if we're not in a theater, if we're talking about a streaming service, we can't consume that much production quality in a. Like look at something like Endgame, and I'm not using it as like the pinnacle of visual spectacle or anything, but like take that final act of Endgame, which for debates aside, whatever. How do you put more money into that and make it look like more money? Like if you're going to spend money on it, it needs to look like it cost $1 billion, right? How much more money do you put into the ending?
You would spend the money to get a better director. That's what you would do.
Well, sure, but like how do you see that in
that money? I don't think that money would go to like how it looks, right? I believe it was Dressel that said it. These actors' costs are going up.
Yeah,
rapidly.
It would go to them,
right? Yeah. So exactly. So by the time that their next Infinity War Endgame-esque kind of thing is going on, or whether it's on your side and it's DC, Zack Snyder doing it, that's where the money's most likely going to go. Because you're right.
Yeah, because he would have big, high-profile actors.
Yeah, and it's all of them at a time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like if we're talking about movies that are happening right now. I mean, we got that Spider-Man movie that literally has. I mean, Jesus Christ! I mean, pay all those people. I mean, Jesus Christ! I mean, like. It's almost like it's like, okay, we need to like Marvel's going like, okay, we got the Infinity Saga done. Now we got to go in this multiverse thing, and they're banking on Spider-Man like crazy. I'm curious to hear what the budget is for Spider-Man 3. It's going to be insane.
150 million.
It's going to be insane. Insane.
No, I bet it's Marvel. I bet they're keeping it. I would be shocked if it's over 200 million. I bet it's 175.
So? I would say it's 250.
Just because of screen time.
Well, I mean, think about like you've got Toby is gonna do, like let's say Toby and Andrew are gonna have like 10 minutes of screen time with their face max, and then they're gonna put a stunt dude in a mocap suit for all the web slinging stuff, and then have them do a few hours of ADR. Like it's going to be like 3 days of work for those guys, even if they're in it. Like look at Tony Stark in the last one. How much he was on set for? How long did they say? Like it was like a few days. And he was in a fair amount of it, right? So Tony Stark in
Homecoming. Yeah. And I don't think Tobey Maguire's price tag. And if the rumors are true that Kristen Dunst is supposed to come back as well as MJ, I don't think the price tags on those two are like. That high, right? I don't think
I bet per minute is really high.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to hear that budget. But anyways, we have another video submission from Neil, and he's up his production value.
Speaking of $1 billion on screen,
I know this guy. I mean, Ty and Justice. I mean, this guy. He always submits video questions, and he's got quite the living room, and he's really showing it right here. So here we go.
Hey Dave, hey Fox Extreme.
Oh hell yeah!
Let's go Green Arrow.
Does anybody want to see the Max, HBO, Greenlight, a TV MA series? And who would you want to cast? Or if you prefer theatrical, same deal. Because if the CW can do what they did and have the run that they had, and even produce instrumentals that are actually pretty good, I gotta say that Warner Brothers, you are failing this character. Cheers, guys. he's got an arrow costume. Man,
Nice.
Geez, he even painted the eyes and everything. Wow, I love it.
Yeah, that was sick. That was sick.
I've got like 5 words to answer his question. I didn't count, so a handful of words, a few less than 10 words. Green Arrow, Supermax, HBO Max, Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Charlie Hunnam, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I mean they've got a
Supermax.
script already. Like Goyer's got a script already.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. Supermax is the script they should really fucking go for. I mean, come on.
it's basically the raid with Green
Yes.
Arrow.
Yeah, it's a prison break with Green Arrow. I mean, come on.
So it didn't. I didn't actually hear the question. What was the question? It cut out.
The question is just like, because he asked about like if there was going to be a Green Arrow, like, you know, movie, like who would you cast? You know,
Okay.
kind of.
Good question.
Yeah, I didn't hear the question.
I know there's too much happening with there.
If it's not,
there was a lot of lag on my side.
if it's not Charlie Hunnam, I think that Ewan McGregor is a understated shout for that role.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I think he'd fit.
I don't like that
Absolutely.
pick.
I think he'd fit. Absolutely.
He'd be. I think Charlie would be a better Green Arrow, whereas Ewan would be a phenomenal
Oliver Queen. Yeah.
Oliver Queen. Yeah.
Okay. I could see
Yeah.
Ewan as the Dark Knight Returns version of Green Arrow, but
Yeah.
I don't see him as.
exactly.
I don't see him
Exactly.
as. I don't see him as like a fresh Green Arrow or something like that. I don't see that, but I can totally see
definitely
like
not.
that wheelchair. You know, like the missing arm, long hair, beard. I could see that version of Oliver, but I can't see him like Charlie Hunnam has always been mine.
And he's one of the few people that I think could pull off the beard and mustache.
Yeah.
That weirdly that doesn't look right on everybody, but I think Ewan could do an actual like full blown goatee that like Green Arrow, and it would look good.
Yeah, I don't have like an actual like Charlie Hunnam would be great, but I wouldn't even mind seeing someone that wasn't known, like, you know, pick up the role and you know, see what they can do with it. Like Charlie Hunnam, I had different ideas like for fan casting, but I thought he said he didn't want to do a comic book movie, so that's why I kind of dismissed it.
Well, he changed his tune when I think like when The Gentleman came out, like when King Arthur came out, I think he said like he was not about it. But then like when The Gentleman came out and everybody was fan casting him as Green Arrow, he was open to it. Like he was like all about it. And I'm like, there you go. I mean, obviously, I mean, you know, I mean, that was like probably
The Gentleman was
years in
fucking
between.
awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I like King Arthur as well. That movie's dope. I know it's a cool movie.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was against it at first, but yeah, I mean, I've always had fan casted him because he just, you put that mustache, goatee, whatever that style that actually like flares out. It would look good on him. It definitely would look good on him. And what do you got, Steven? Yeah, who's that?
It's Ewan.
Wow, yeah, that does look good. You took it away too quickly, but
Oops,
I didn't get to see it.
No.
Because there's another one.
I don't know. I could see it. I guess I could see it, but I don't know. I just like I don't know. I'm considering I don't know.
You know who I would like to see?
Huh?
Oliver Queen. Absolutely.
Whoever the fuck they used as the character basis or the model, the Injustice 2 Green Arrow. Like that's who I'd fucking want to see. So whoever that was, because I don't know, but like as I played Injustice,
I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, like as I played Injustice 2, I was like, this guy fucking gets it. Dude.
Who's that one guy too?
He understands it. Like his mannerisms, his tone, his voice, all that shit was it was legit as Green Arrow. I was like, I really love this guy. So whoever he was,
a lot of people also have put Garrett Hedlund. He's not bad.
Oh yeah, him too.
Yeah, he's not a bad choice. But but
what about Taylor Kirsch? Is that his name?
I know.
Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah,
I think Taylor Kitsch would. I think he would be all right, actually.
He'd be all right, but yeah,
he'd be all right. Yeah, he'd be all right.
I'm fingers crossed on Gambit. You know,
I think one of the other Hemsworths would probably be a good shout. Also,
like Liam Hemsworth. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. A Liam Hemsworth would probably he'd probably be pretty good. I mean, if we were talking about like 1998, I would say fucking Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt would be like a perfect, a perfect Oliver Queen, but he'd be a good. He'd be a good.
I think he could handle all the Green Arrow. I think he could do that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like an older Green Arrow. I mean, if they were gonna do like a Green Arrow that's been established as pretty much as long as Ben Affleck, I would say like get a Brad Pitt in there. Get a Brad Pitt, fucking Oliver Queen. Why not?
What if they got a Christian Bale?
Ooh,
funny, right?
Green Arrow.
I wouldn't hate that.
I know, right? You'd be like,
I think I would hate that. I hate that.
I don't know, but
you hate everything. We get it.
I feel like they'd
probably.
I feel like they'd probably take a look at Ryan Gosling. I don't know if I like that.
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't know.
I think he would be good as the question, which a lot of people have said that. It's like, yeah, because he doesn't really show emotion on his face, so why not put him as a question? I think that would actually be perfect because it's like the question, no face. He doesn't really show emotion in his face a lot.
Yeah,
so why not?
What was that movie he did with I want to say it was Russell Crowe, and they kind of had that like thing like
Nice Guys.
Right?
Oh, dude, I love that
Guys.
movie.
Yeah, so I could see him being the question. That actually fit.
Dude, the Nice Guys.
So
I fucking love that movie. So love that movie.
I remembered something. So I remembered that. So I always wanted to see Scott Eastwood as when he was in Suicide Squad.
I was going to say I literally just
I don't know
him to see if he's got good mustache pictures.
Yeah, he'd be a good one. I always secretly wanted him to be Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
I was hoping Dick Grayson and like Suicide Squad.
Heard, yeah.
I was hoping he was an undercover Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man, let that be like a twist at the end. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see a scene at the end where he just like shows up somewhere and then fucking Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne just shows up out of the dark and just goes, so what'd you get or something like that. I was like, can you imagine that like secret scene?
Right.
Man.
I hope.
That would have been cool, but somebody's saying Matt Damon.
That would have been cool.
Matt Damon.
I don't know about Matt Damon.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
We already saw him like shoot arrows in that fucking.
Well, not only that, but he portrays.
Oh,
like he's awesome, right?
So he knows how to shoot a bow and arrow, right? So.
He got his Boston accent in The Departed. You remember?
I gotta ask you, Justice.
He went overboard with that.
Yeah,
did he? Because I feel like I'm from Texas and I'm literally in Austin, so I don't feel like I have an accent. But like when I watch it, and he's like, the faithful departed, and I'm like, dude,
what are your? I gotta ask Justin. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the accents? About like when it comes to either like Good
or the Town
or the Town, especially Ben Affleck.
So I'm glad you brought that up because that movie right there is the main focal point of why he can never be Batman for me. Bam, that horrible piece of shit movie, right?
The Town.
The Town.
Good.
If I see that movie one more time, whoever puts it on, I'm stabbing him. I can't do it
Oh
anymore.
man.
In Boston, it's such a like overplayed trope in the accents and the hey guys, where's my car keys? You know that over and over. It's to the point I got bald spots from just pulling hair out of my head because it just never ends.
Whose car we taking? What about you, Ty? Since you're out there, what do you think about? What about The Town? And yeah. Oh,
the guy. Did I freeze?
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
Oh, okay. I just think so. The guys are all right, but it's when they do like the women go way too overboard with like the
what's her name?
Like for,
Blake Lively.
For instance,
that's not how Boston women are. That's not Boston women. I thought it was.
No. For instance, seen The Fighter.
I was just gonna say, what about Amy Adams and
The Fighter with
good movie.
When she gets in the family, when she gets in the 5 girls that live in the house in Lowell, and they went overboard, but that shit does happen in Lowell.
It does.
100% accurate. It's just the accents.
Yeah, no. So for somebody from like me that's never been out of Texas, so I don't really know. I mean, I hear certain accents, and I'm like, okay, it's portrayed that way. I don't know if it's everybody talks that way, but I will say that my father-in-law, and I say my father-in-law, but I was never married, but you know what I mean. My daughter's grandfather, like he's from Boston, and he has that accent. He literally talks like, and he almost resembles, what's his name? In The Departed, the fucking cop.
Dunham?
Leo?
Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin. Yeah, he talks like him. And he sounds just like him whenever. Yeah, so I'm like, it always trips me out because it's like I know that his accent is authentic for whatever reason. So it's
So Dave said to me at the beginning that I kind of have the accent. I didn't grow up in Boston. I grew up a solid hour and a half away from Boston. But dudes I know that literally did spend their entire lives in Boston are exactly like you just said. They even resemble like famous Boston people. It's weird. It's like a look and a sound. It's weird.
Well, right. And so that's why I was like, okay, so like hearing Alec Baldwin's accent compared to Matt Damon's accent, you can obviously tell it's a little bit more drastic on Matt Damon's side. But it was always for me, like even hearing Jack Nicholson, like he sometimes goes a little overboard, but he's like, whatever. Yeah, it's the Joker as he's talking. So it doesn't really matter.
Nicholson's just kind of overboard in general.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
actually, Ben in The Town, he's got the most like. So if you really want to know what someone from here sounds like without like coming here, because I wouldn't come here. Like Ben in that movie is spot on. Ben is just a god amongst men, and
Well, and I'm a Boston Red Sox fan, so I would love to go to Fenway Park and Pac.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Fenway's gorgeous.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but obviously not right now because I freeze my balls off. I literally would die of it. So fuck that.
It gets bad in Fenway too. It does. It gets bad in there. Even like April, May, it gets absolutely freezing over there.
Wow.
Gross.
Garza, where are you from in Texas?
Austin, capital city.
Oh, you just said that. Yeah, you just said that, and I just fuced that up. I
love saying it.
Yo, I love Texas. I love going to the rodeo. Fucking the balls, man.
Hey, you know what? Really I love. You know what the best thing I love about Texas and literally Austin, the women.
Of course.
God damn, they're so
crazy out there. Crazy out there.
Oh, dude, fucking vivacious and crazy and authentic and confident and just there's so much to love about it that I'm like, I can't fucking leave this place. I don't know. I don't get it. Now, granted, I'm not married, so it works in my benefit because I feel like. And I told this to my co-host, and I'm going to plug myself again on the Real Emotion.
There you go. Cheers.
Heyo.
Yeah, that he asked me. He was like, "Hey, what do you think is like the ratio from like guy to girl?" And I was like, "Dude, if I was being honest, I'd literally be like 3-1, girl to guy." Like,
really? Yeah,
dude.
Damn.
There's so many fucking beautiful women here that they're just all like fucking moving here, and
well, now that Silicon Valley is they're gonna balance that out real
I'm
quick.
like, fuck. Well, but you know what the beautiful thing is that all those fucking guys are nerds, so I don't give a shit about them. Like,
yeah, but they're rich.
Like,
they got big wallets.
But the girls that are here, they don't give a shit about that yet. So
well, that's because they're not there yet.
Yeah, I know. I got like 5 years. I got 5 years. So like fucking
clean up game.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I give a fuck about. You know what I mean? Then I find a nice one and I can settle down. You know?
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, settle down in 5 years. That's what's happening. I mean, I keep seeing it. It's like fucking, everything from California is just moving because the way
Joe Rogan,
California's falling apart.
Dude,
come on,
dude, it's fucking falling apart over here. I mean, I'm about to move. I want to move myself. I mean, it's so bad here. It's crazy. And then of course everybody's like, oh yeah, but then Texas is going to be blue soon. It's like, well, maybe it'll turn purple. Maybe they'll have
they literally underestimate. So Austin sure is blue, but they literally underestimate the fucking country that Texas is. Like they don't dude, I am not bullshitting. I'm going to show you, or not show you, but I'll read it out because it was. I remember I was driving to my niece's graduation, and it was she was graduating from Texas A&M, which is in College Station, Texas, which is East Texas, a little bit of East Texas, East South Texas. And as I was driving out there, I won't forget it. I saw this sign, like I'm not fucking exaggerating. It was literally just a big ass billboard of this farm ranch that I was like curious about. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, I got to take a picture of that because it said the most fascinating fucking thing that I was like, oh man, sometimes you know what? I forget that I'm in Austin and that shit is shocking.
Right.
So if I could find it, hold on, I'm about to, because I know where it's at, I think.
While you're looking for that, another Green Arrow. And this one would elicit probably a strong response.
Still on it.
Yeah, still on Green Arrow.
I'm not sure which way, but it would be a strong reaction. Is Toby Stevens?
Who's Toby?
That.
Ooh.
I don't know who that is.
Actually, I don't know.
You have a picture? I was waiting for you to share.
I'll pull one up here. Sure.
Can you give me some roles? What is he on? What is he known for?
He's Flint in Black Sails.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Go fix that.
No, Black
Sails.
What about the dude?
Black Sails is underrated.
What about the dude that's in Raised by Wolves too? Like the dude that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was
in Vikings. That was also in Vikings. Yeah.
Travis.
Oh yeah. Okay.
See, he can even do the curl on the.
Hey, wasn't he in Lost in Space?
Okay. Yeah, he just got the little mustache curl. Yeah.
Lost in Space.
He was in Lost in Space, right? The series?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was also in Pacific Rim. Also, yeah. I knew I recognized him. Yeah.
Are you ready for these two billboards? Like, I'm not bullshitting. Like, I don't know if you can't see it. So, but I'm gonna show you kind of like.
Good call, Steve.
It's the billboard. I know. I'm gonna read it, but so they're billboards. So.
I was gonna say. Oh shit! I just removed
it.
Here, hold on. Let me. Damn it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no. You can see the first one, right? Hold on.
It says homosexuality.
Holy shit! Wow, that's a real thing.
You're gonna get your stream taken down now, Dave.
I know, probably.
Dude,
hey, insane. How you doing?
Hey.
What the hell? Oh,
listen. Okay. Atheist, abortionist, homosexuals and other perverts will love your Democratic vote. That was the first billboard. I was like, God damn. And the second one, which he just wanted to plant with his American flag, homosexuality is a sinful choice. Vote Republican.
Oh my God.
Like,
I'm telling you, dude.
Who do they think
that's just on a highway?
That should no, it's on a farm. Yeah, well, it's like on a it's on a highway, but not a highway. It's like a road.
I'm gonna build myself a sign, and it's gonna change everybody's mind.
It's public. Yeah, no, it's literally at the front of their property. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
That's how they tweet in Texas. That's how they tweet.
Yeah, right, and that's why
that's different than Twitter.
When you're here in Austin, you don't see that kind of shit, and you don't experience it because nobody would be that ignorant. Nobody would be like, "No, fuck you for being gay or whatever." And it's like, but you go outside of this bubble that we're in because Austin is a blue liberal state, city, which whatever, I don't care. But dude, outside of that, even like going up to Dallas and San Antonio, there's a lot of land and a lot of people in those. Yeah, and it's like that. Like the fact that guy literally built and these big ass boards. It wasn't like they were just small, like little signs. That was somebody printed that. You know what I mean? Like,
where I'm at right now, where I'm at in California, there's like some hills that I have to go through to go to the other side where like pretty much everybody I know like lives. Especially when I go to my mom's and I cut through this canyon. There's a house that literally has a billboard that says Trump is a godsend. And like it says all this stuff. It has all this Trump stuff. They say all this stuff, and I'm like, hey, whatever. If you're a Trump supporter, cool.
Right?
Like the fact that
some people get passionate.
I can't get my head around that stuff where like even if you let's sure people can believe whatever they want. Sure. So let's say that that's your perspective. But then to be like, how does that I need to know the thought process of like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the sign in front of my yard, and everyone's going to change their mind because of that. Everyone's going to agree with like, I'm going to convince everyone.
Like, dude, this is not like a yard. This is fucking land.
I wasn't going to vote for him, but then I saw your sign, and I got to tell you. You got my vote.
Let me correct myself.
I told you. I told you that's the farmer's Twitter.
No, let me correct myself. It actually says Trump was sent by God. It said Trump was sent by God, and I was like, okay. I mean,
wow, that's real passion, though. That's real passion. I can only pray that I have a fan base like that someday. I can only pray that I have a fan base that will put up a billboard that says God sent me in order to entertain that. You know
Very good point. Very good point. Very good point.
But are any of you passionate about anything that you would put a sign that big in your yard about it?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's how wild shit is.
Only the Snyder Cut.
I don't want a sign in my front yard. Like I can't think of something that matters so much to me that I would be like, I'm gonna put a giant sign.
I wouldn't put a fucking bumper sticker.
Like my grandmother.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're not gonna see me with any bumper stickers on my fucking vehicle.
I didn't even like wearing like if I look for like geek shirts, I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like the bat symbol, but it's abstract, and so people don't know unless they know. It's like I'm not like that's what I look for. And so the idea of being like,
and that's my point. Like, imagine being this fucking owner of this land, right? And you have somebody deliver your package or whatever you need to get.
Exactly.
That's what they fucking see when they roll in.
That's why I'm looking at the live chat and people are like, what the fuck in California? I'm like, I mean, this is like literally cutting through a canyon where there's like acres where people own. And like, and like, seriously, like these people have a big, huge sign that I see all the time that says Trump was sent by God. And it was like, whoa.
Well, this sign, these two signs that I had, it was the reason why I took the picture of it. I was like, I can't believe this shit.
I know.
Like,
I should probably take a picture of that. Like,
this is fucking wild.
What were we gonna say, Ty?
Hey, someone just said that this could be bullshit, but they said Michael B. Jordan was cast as Jon Stewart.
No
bullshit.
Is that
calling bullshit? Calling bullshit.
Hey, I know for a fact. that Zack would not be going for Michael B. Jordan. So no,
nah. There's no way that go for it.
We're talking Jon Stewart for Snyder Cut.
They seem very confident.
I think for the show.
Yeah, or the show.
No, I'm not seeing it.
I just saw it, and I was.
Nah.
Is that even real, or is that just like someone talking?
Well,
it's somebody talking. Nah, it's not real. It's not real.
Wait. Complete nonsense.
Where did you see it from?
I'm
Twitter?
just following the live chat, and they.
No. From the comments.
Nah, don't do that.
Yeah,
that's wrong.
There's nothing. Nah, we're good. Nah, I wouldn't. No,
it's 2 a.m.
Yeah. Sorry for keeping you guys awake.
No, stop. I can't sleep at night anyways.
No. I dig it.
I go through every night.
No. It's not happening. I'm looking. Wait, what?
I kind of got excited, but then I was like, wait a second. I don't know if I can trust this.
Nah, he wouldn't choose Michael.
I think Michael B. Jordan's too young for Jon Stewart. I picture more like an Idris Elba for Jon Stewart, not Michael.
No, man, Trevante Rhodes would be I would say Trevante Rhodes would be the
yeah. Wasn't Michael B. Jordan supposed to be Hawkman? That's what I heard, right?
Are we talking about that? No, it's Ryan Reynolds.
That was Ryan Reynolds, man.
Yeah, my fault. I get them mixed up.
Right.
I mean, Alexander Skarsgård. My bad. Alexander Skarsgård was supposed to be.
Yeah.
My fault.
Yeah, now that's what Black Adam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yes, I think somebody.
No. It's Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender was Hawkman.
I see.
That's right.
Is that what it was? That's
Yeah.
right.
No. It was Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah. No, or Vin Diesel. I don't know. You know what?
God, I hate Vin Diesel.
Do you hate the fact that he got $59 million for saying "I am Groot" in so many different ways? Guardians of the Galaxy.
He didn't get $59 million for saying "I am Groot." He got $59 million for being Vin Diesel for 20 years and then saying "I am Groot."
Yep, that's pretty much what it is.
There it is.
You're absolutely correct. Fucking A. You hear about that? When I think I made that point on like one of my movie fake news things was like, because everybody's like, there's people out there going like, hey, they gave $70 million to Snyder to finish his Justice League movie that was already came out. And it's like, you realize that Vin Diesel has been paid millions and millions of dollars just to fucking say I am Groot so many different times. And it's like, what the fuck? I mean, it's absolutely insane when people start like throwing shade at like budgets and this, that, and this. And it's like, Vin Diesel has just been cashing it in. I mean, even like, I hate Fate of the Furious. I wish that the Fast and Furious franchise would end unless Christopher Nolan wants to do one. Then I'll be down.
5, 6, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6 to Furious 7. Is that what it was? Furious 7?
Yeah.
So, man, that set me up for a movie I did not get. The Furious 8 or Fate of the Furious broke a streak for me that I was like so hyped going into that one.
I hated that movie.
They were on fire for 3 movies.
I've never sat down and like watched these movies, but like I caught bits and pieces of Hobbs and Shaw. And that movie was fun. Anything with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I'm usually down for. It's usually a fun movie. You know what I mean?
Hobbs and Shaw was weird to me because it was like, it was terrible, but also it was like the most watchable blockbuster.
Yes,
I've ever seen.
I'm
watching it, and like the whole movie was like 7 third acts.
Oh, it had so many ridiculous
amazing.
Like it was so
ridiculous. Nothing made any sense, but I was like really interested in watching it.
Yeah, but that's not what they're there for. They're not there to make sense.
But he literally like grabs somebody, like he's driving and he grabs somebody and then slams them into a wall. like as he's driving and like at a really fast pace. It's like that makes no sense, but I fucking love that you did that, Dwayne the Rock.
Listen, that was the first Fast and Furious film that I watched since Too Fast, Too Furious. Let's put it that way, okay?
Wait, you skipped everything between Too Fast and Too Furious?
You should really watch it all. I'm telling you.
You missed the origin story. You missed the origin. They all have superpowers now. They're all super agents.
That franchise is like a frog. It's the perfect example of a frog boiling in water, where you're watching like Hobbs and Shaw, and you're like, yeah, okay, sure. And then you go back and you watch the first one again. You're like, wait, what did I? How did I forget?
How did it get here? How did it get here?
What the fuck is happening?
Cobbs and Slaw. Cobbs and.
Before Furious 7 came out, I binged the entire series leading up to that. And I have to say, it's like one of the easiest binge watches when it comes to franchises.
No, it's good.
I blew through them, and I loved, and I watched it in chronological order too, because of how Tokyo Drift, which is funny because Tokyo Drift takes place in like 2007 in the franchise timeline. But like when you watch it, they're like, MC Hammer's the biggest thing, yo. What?
Yeah. Wow.
And I love the fact that they try to bring back the guy who plays Billy in like I think they brought him back in like Fate of the Furious. And he's like literally like 40 years old, but he's supposed to be playing like a fucking 19-year-old.
Well, and the movie literally takes place like 2 years after.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So sad. I was like, come on.
Steven, I think it's hilarious that they have the audacity to like you said, Tokyo Drift takes place some point after like 5 or 6 or something like that, right? I love that they try to like throw that chronological time and like make sure that the canon's all set, even though like Tokyo Drift is here and it's literally just a movie about them racing cars, but like 5 and 6 are over here, and Dwayne with Rock Johnson bench pressing a Ford Camry for fun in a parking lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
it's funny too because they brought back Han, and so they're like.
When you watch the Fast 9 trailer, they bring back Han. They show it already, and it's like, all right. How the fuck is this gonna work now?
Well, that's the way it happened originally, though, because they had Han. Han was in Fast and Furious 6, and everyone was like, "But you killed him in Tokyo Drift in 2003," and they're like, "Don't worry, Tokyo Drift takes place after."
Don't worry about that.
That's probably why I bring that up. They would build that up, and at the very end, when he's like talking to Gal Gadot, he's like, "Let's go to Tokyo." And then it's like, but then all of a sudden he's back, and it's like, okay, so he didn't die now? Is that what's going on? I mean,
no, or he did, and they did the thing to him that they did to Idris Elba or something. Like,
he's probably going to be a superhuman now.
Gave him the super soldier serum. Yeah.
I mean, they already brought back I guess Letty died and came back in the same movie, didn't she?
Yeah, that was the fourth one. I like the fourth one because
the fourth one is a really weird spot before they had where it's still almost as it's like
it's still grounded, but they bring everybody back.
Isn't that the one where they go under the tunnel and then Vin Diesel has a fight in the desert with chains or something? I think so. Yeah, or like with like a giant monkey wrench. It's one of those things where it's like a He-Man.
Well, I know what scene you're talking about. Isn't that what he's fighting Jason Statham, right? He has this giant monkey wrench.
No, that would have been in I think that was in Furious 7.
Okay. I know it's hard to keep track. The fourth Fast and the Furious was like still kind of grounded in a little bit, but at the same time it was starting to tottering like into like, okay, now these guys are going to go crazy. And then when Fast and Furious 5 came out, that first trailer came out, and like Paul Walker and Vin Diesel literally like just like launched their car like off a bridge, and then they just like float off of it. They just float off of it, and then just like, hey, we're just gonna splash into this river. That's all we're gonna do. And it was kind of a cool scene, but it's just kind of funny because when you watch that scene, they're literally just like Paul Walker's on the back, just like, all right, I'm ready, and then they just go off the fucking cliff into like off the bridge, and then like they just literally
hurt you guys.
I remember I actually like on a video a long time ago, I actually did a green screen thing that's just a fucking, because I thought it was so ridiculous. And I was like, you like cut to me like on the fucking car, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That's what Fast and Furious 5. That's when it started getting like crazy. Like they all of a sudden these guys are like, they can't kill these guys. They're fucking they're Captain Americas. They're all fucking super.
I have to say, like, my favorite. I love how like in Too Fast Too Furious, they're like the biggest stunt is him making eye contact. Well, I was gonna say it's him making eye contact with Eva Mendes. While he goes up like to 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. I thought it was the boat on the
and then in like six, he takes a Mustang, a 1978 Mustang, and he disables an airplane currently taking off. It's about to take off. He manages to break the tires off the fucking thing.
Yeah. Like I think in 6, like the run. They said like the runway was like literally like 26 miles or something.
Somebody mapped it out.
Because like the whole fucking final act takes place on a runway before the plane is going to go off. It just keeps going for like 30 minutes, and it's like, how long is this fucking runway? Yeah.
That's gotta be a world record. That's so funny.
But that's the thing, though. That's.
I bet they did that on purpose too. I bet they were like, "We're gonna make this runway like 20 miles long, act like it's on it. The plane's gonna take off, and we're gonna show a back shot of the run of the airfield, and you're gonna see the whole thing. It's like 100 yards long.
But at the same time, go ahead, Justin.
I was gonna say at this point, like making fun of like their continuity and like realism is like the same as like watching Looney Tunes and doing the same thing. That doesn't make any sense. Ducks can't talk.
Watch the first Fast and Furious movie. I mean, they literally take like a half a mile. What is it? A quarter mile race. And they make it seem like it's a crazy fucking. They literally show it where it's like they're actually driving for like 2 or 3 miles just to make it, they have to make it watchable. That's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how you can enjoy those movies. But to me, I think after Furious 7, after Paul Walker passed, that should have been it. That should have been it. Respect he was like, I would say like, I liked his character more than Vin Diesel's character. I thought he was more of the Fast and Furious franchise more than Vin Diesel. And the fact that Vin Diesel was super big-headed and was like, I'm not going to return for the sequel to Fast and Furious. I'm not going to return for the sequel for XXX either. And then all of a sudden he comes back because he tried to do all these fucking other franchises that failed. Except for maybe the Pitch Black. What's his name? Yeah. Pitch Black, whatever the hell. Chronicles of Riddick. The Riddick franchise was probably like his most successful other franchise, but everything else that he tried to do didn't work. And then all of a sudden he's like, all right, I'm going to come back for Fast and the Furious. And now he's like milking it like crazy. I hate that because it's like, it should have just ended with Furious 7. The way that they sent off Paul Walker was beautiful. I choked up. Cool. That's it. But then Fate of the Furious came out, which is a horrible title, first off. And they literally had a fucking submarine.
Well, and of all franchises to it was Fate of the Furious, FATE Furious, right? Yeah. And of all the franchises to do the F number 8, they're just trolling us at that point. My favorite part about my favorite part about the Vin Diesel Rock feud is does everybody know their height difference?
Oh, it's so fucking drastic.
It's a lot. I know that
it's
much.
Mario.
He's
like 5'10", and Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel is tall. Vin Diesel is 6 foot tall, but The Rock is 6'5".
And this is literally standing on a fucking egg crate or whatever the hell
an apple crate. Yeah, I love how they do that. And I looked at I got obsessed with this about a year ago.
What's the context of the scene though? It's like, do we know that Toretto is supposed to be on something, or is it like?
Oh yeah, no. I looked at not only in movie footage, but I looked at press shots and everything, And because I got obsessed with this like a year ago, and they never stand next to each other in group photos. Vin Diesel always stands next to a shorter woman, and he stands like forward in front of her, like closer to the camera, and like they do all the tricks where it's like there's literally not a single shot that exists that places the two of them next to each other in a way that can let you realistically compare their height. It's hilarious. And knowing that there's a feud there, you know that like this 6 foot tall man famous for being a badass is like really insecure about how tall The Rock is.
Oh man, and it's so and I do find it funny that like The Rock like actually like stole the show a little bit and then it like had a spin-off.
Oh, he definitely did.
Yeah.
I heard the only reason it continued as far as it did, like I believe it was 5 that like when I watched, that's what they said, like, oh, 5 was supposed to be the ending. But because of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that's why all this is continuing the way it is, because that's what he does.
They added, I mean, it got crazy. And then it was funny too, because like in Furious 7, like literally Dwayne The Rock Johnson's character like gets like him and Jason Statham, like they fight. He gets his fucking like arm like broken. So like he has like a crazy battle in the beginning, and then throughout like the whole movie, he's like in the hospital. Then at the very end, it's like, all right, it's time for me to go. And he rips off his fucking cast and then holds like a minigun and just like, and then just has like, I mean, when you talk about franchises that are fucking insane, the Fast and Furious franchise, my God.
You know what I learned about that hospital scene that's interesting is, you know, when The Rock is in the hospital and he's watching a football game.
Yeah.
He's watching footage of The Rock
of
playing
himself.
Playing football. Of course he is.
He played when he played in college. I think it's college footage.
Yeah. He did. He played college.
Yeah. And it's one of his college games that that Hobbs is watching.
And then they brought John Cena in. What were we gonna say, Ty?
Oh, I said the best Vin Diesel movie is The Pacifier.
Yeah, that movie's great.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It's actually not. It's actually it actually is. It's not bad.
I enjoyed the hell out of that one.
Yeah.
Should have made a franchise out of that.
You know what's crazy to me?
I should have made a franchise out of it.
It's crazy because like I'm not into wrestling. I've never been into wrestling. I know very little about it. But like when you get like, these guys like The Rock and Cena who are big and in these big franchises now. And maybe there's a good reason that I don't know because like I'm not into wrestling. But I'm shocked there's not like a WWE shared universe of like Avengers team up movies where of like a heightened reality where they're like they play themselves, but they're like superheroes and they team up to like
they've kind of done that like over the years. So I grew up as a kid watching wrestling, and you know they had dudes like Undertaker and like Kane, and they were supposed to be like the Undertaker was like he was the undead, right? The supernatural spooky guy with like the strength of 10 men, and he'd come in and he'd pick up this big 300-pound dude
from Death Valley.
Yeah, they basically did do exactly what you just said in wrestling.
No, but with a $200 million budget movie.
Yeah,
it's the difference.
But it is kind of funny how they brought that. It is kind of funny how they brought John Cena in for like this next one. It's like, all right, seriously, we need more bicep.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, like, there's so much testosterone. I mean, and that's what I like. That's what I liked about the balance between Vin Diesel and Paul Walker was like the pretty boy, you know. I mean, when he had his shirt off, it was like he wasn't bulging. He was ripped, but he was like a skinny dude. He was a lean dude, and he was like that counterbalance from Vin Diesel. You don't have that anymore. Now it's just pure like testosterone, and it's just like it's all Vin Diesel or Dwayne Johnson. I'm like, you don't have that balance of like. Of Paul Walker. That's what I liked about Paul Walker was like the fact that he just like he counter, I guess you could say, balanced that whole like that brooding like bulging like, hey, I'm gonna wear a fucking wife beater and drink a fucking Corona. Yeah,
brought just the tiniest bit of estrogen to the table, just a tad bit.
If you want to say it like that, yeah. No, but it was a good balance between those two characters. and now he's gone. I'm like, just fucking end it. But it's like it's not going to end. There's going to be like 2 more after Fast and Furious 9.
That's what I was saying. If they can bring back Han, they can bring back Jesse.
Yeah, I guess
right?
so. Yeah.
They'll keep spinning it off. They'll keep spinning it off. It's gonna end the main story, but they'll keep fucking making other shit.
Well, yeah, they're supposed to do like an all-female version, and I'm like, okay, cool. What is that gonna be? Okay, Letty. Is it gonna be Letty that's gonna do that?
Well, what it'd be you got to bring back what's Gal's character?
I don't remember her name,
but bring her back to life too. You just bring everyone back. So it's Gal. It's Letty. It's Eva Mendes. Bring her back.
Oh my God, where's she? I mean, like they teased her. They teased her at like a post-credit scene in like 5 or 6. I can't remember.
It might have been 4.
No, I think it was 5. No, it was one that Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I think it was 5.
Yeah.
And they teased her like coming back, like she just shows up with like some folder with like paperwork in it. And I'm like, okay, yes, bring Eva Mendes back. And then she never came back. And I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm totally down for it.
Of all the franchises out there, they've honestly probably got the best cast to do a female-centric spinoff.
They do, but it's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. But all right. Anyways, guys, I think what?
Does it though? Does it need to make sense? Because at this point, we're way past.
I mean, I guess it doesn't. But I'm just saying.
No, we're just talking like cast and chemistry, and like that's all they. That's all they. Like that's all they need to worry about because it doesn't have to make sense. They're just going to be like, oh yeah, Gal Gadot is back from the life, back from the dead.
Yeah,
and we're going to drop their cars off of airplanes and just something like that. Don't worry about it. Like,
yeah. I mean, if Han can come back, why not? Everybody can. I mean, look at superhero movies. I mean, everybody comes back too, so why not? But you know, I mean, we could bring back this little drop. I mean, that's never gonna be, you know, that's never gonna get old because I mean, it's so beautiful. Gary Oldman in The Professional. I mean, come on. I mean, Gary Oldman in pretty much anything. I actually just watched Bram Stoker's Dracula. As ridiculous as that movie is, with with some of the questionable acting from Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder, it's still a decent fucking Dracula movie. It's still because Gary Oldman is pretty damn awesome in that movie, but because he's Gary Oldman. I'm just saying, just putting it out there, guys. If you're gonna watch a decent Dracula movie, Bram Stoker, even though it has. Watch it. I mean, yeah, there's some bad acting because, you know, you got a young Keanu Reeves and a young Winona Ryder that it's like, woof. But Gary Oldman is still, you know, it's still Gary Oldman. He's still fucking awesome in that, just like he is in Professional. But I think we should wrap this up. We're like 3 hours and 41 minutes into this thing.
Oh, wow.
Holy guacamole.
You know how it is. I mean, you know, wrapping up the whole Stream Wars thing. Hey, guess what? We're all fucking winning here. Hopefully, like when it comes to these directors, they can kind of be like, hey, maybe I should pretty much adapt to this. I don't know what the response is going to be. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see going into the new year to see Nolan's response. I mean, he's already kind of pulling back a little bit too. I remember I saw like headlines that said like, well, it was Warner Brothers that actually wanted to release Tenet in the movie theaters, not Christopher Nolan. It was like, I don't know if you guys saw those headlines. I didn't really read.
I bet it dies down. Like I'm really leaning heavy into my idea that I think it's mostly like this can't happen without me making us think about it. Like
it's a power trip. It's like a power struggle.
Exactly. And he'll go, he gets it. He knows the economics. He's going to let it happen, but he's not going to let it look like they just totally disregard it. Like it's such a diminishing his like whole like thing about like supporting the theaters. Yeah. And so for them to do this is like totally contrary to like his like life's goal. So so he's going to be like, you know, pretend to be opposed to it, but he gets it at the end of the day. And
yeah, I think that's what it kind of is. And like, I mean, if Martin Scorsese can embrace the whole Netflix paradigm like he did last year with The Irishman, I mean, it is kind of interesting when you have like these other directors that are going like, no. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? if your movie theater is still open, fucking support it. You know, like you guys are doing, Pop Culture Corner. You know what you guys are doing with Wonder Woman 84. I love the fact that you guys are going to do a show from the AMC and watch it on Christmas Day. I will, you know, fucking, I'm gonna retweet it. I'm gonna support that. I think that's great that you guys are doing that.
Thank you.
And,
Thank
you. And I wish I could do that too, but I'm in California, sadly, and I would have to probably drive again down an hour and a half on Christmas Day, and I don't think that's gonna exactly happen. But I love the fact that you guys
go to your neighbor's house, or not your neighbor's house, but go paint the that Trump sign and put a projector in front of it. Turn it into a
right. There you go.
Right, that little canyon. I mean, it is crazy because it is a huge like it's like they have like this. It's almost like a silo too, that they have it like right in front where it says Trump was sent from God or something like that. I mean, it's insane. That would be a cool spot. Yeah, it would be a cool spot to project a movie. But no, I'm glad you guys are doing that. And you know, I mean, we're not saying don't support theaters. We're saying if you can and if you're willing to support theaters. But if not, if you're high risk or you're worried about, you know, someone you're living with that's high risk, we get it. We get it. And this is where we're at now. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. I mean, even when there's a vaccine out there, you know, still there's going to be people that are going to be that are not going to want to go out to these, even though like the data shows that movie theaters are not the super spreader locations, you know, and hopefully theaters can adapt to something. I don't know. They can really help with something like that. I mean, obviously you're going to be wearing masks. There's going to be not full theaters anymore. You're not going to be sitting. You're not going to be like, you know, shoulder to shoulder to somebody you don't know anymore. You're going to be
the biggest thing that I've seen, like all the small theaters near me, and I know a bunch of other places, as they like have upgraded to be like more COVID friendly. Most of them are just replacing all of their stadium seating with recliners, which cuts it down by like half of the number of people in each auditorium. Recliners are obviously way better for anyone who's been in that versus, you know, that gives you the reserve seating option usually also.
Yeah.
And so, and then it also, you know, gives you more social distancing and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, I think there is a way that theaters can come out of this as an alternate, a different experience. That's maybe, you know, small. It's not going to be what it once was, but you know, they'll be around as long as there's movies to be watched. People are going to want to watch them on a big screen. Just maybe it's not going to be a 30 screen multiplex on, you know, every town.
Exactly. So yeah, support your, I mean, if you can support your local movie theater, I mean, we're totally 100% behind that. But if you don't want to, at least support streaming services, subscribe, don't do the pirating thing. You know, I know people like to fucking, I'm just going to pirate it. I mean, and then hopefully when it comes to international, they'll figure that out, you know, with all that. I know there's logistics with all that not, you know, it's all craziness, but anyways, guys, like I said, support Pop Culture Corner. They you know, they're going to be supporting their local, of course, movie theater, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. They're always filling up their content, which is right here, and please do that. And yeah, guys, we'll go around the horn and go ahead and promote yourselves. Go ahead, Ty, go
ahead. So first off, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Dave. I had such a fun time. You know, you're such a great guy, and you know, I'd like to consider you a friend. You're a good person. Fun to talk to you. You can follow me here. I just use the page's Twitter, so at @pop_culture 2020. And then the channel on YouTube and on all major podcast platforms. And we're raising money for my mom's breast cancer right now. So if you have a couple extra dollars, you know, throw it towards it, and I'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Yes. Donate to that. All right, Mr. Bigger Drip. I love that name. I love the fact that you have 2 eyes. I really do.
Thank you. I need them to see, Dave. Dave, thank you for having us on the show. I appreciate that, man. Guys, Steven, it was a pleasure to meet you. Listen, guys, I really like I like what you guys' headsets had mindsets, excuse me. And I would like to be you give me something to inspire to. So thank you genuinely for having us on the show. You can follow myself and my co-host Light Drizzle on all social media platforms. My personal name is Justice Holmes, or on Instagram, Snapchat, it's Big Drip. You can find him under Tyler Roberts or the Pop Culture Corner name on all social media platforms. Because we do it for you, we do it for the culture.
Cheers to that. All right,
Cheers.
Mr. Garza.
Well, it was a pleasure talking with both of you too. It's awesome to get to experience other people's opinions. I could say that, you're dead to me because you don't like BBS. So.
That's all right. We can still be
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, no. But if you want to, you can follow me. Just acting a fool on Twitter at Sir_John_Aaron. But I have my Instagram tag.
I was about to say it's something different down there.
Yeah, I know. Because that's my Instagram. Because it's like, fuck it, who cares? Like, I don't really give a shit. But also, if you wanted to listen to my movie thoughts and my film thoughts and DC thoughts, we're on. I'm on every Wednesday and Sunday on the Real Emotion podcast. So you check that out.
There you go, Mr. Colbert.
Yeah, I'm Stephen Colbert. You can find me on Twitter at SM and I write for Screen Rant. I've got something about the Nolan and villain new stuff that from this week, going up probably this weekend sometime. If you liked my last piece about the HBO Max stuff, it's a good follow up to that. I also co-host Batman v Superman by the minute and Justice League by the minute when there's anything relevant to record for that. With Andrew Dice, you can find both of those at SnyderMinute.com. And yeah, that's
about it.
That's it.
There it is. All right. All right. And then you guys know what to do with me. Of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell. So you know when I'm doing this shiza. And then, of course, everything down below, the Sock Meds, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, my reinvigorated Facebook page, which I decided I was like, all right, let's do that. And then, of course, Patreon, if you want to join that, a little bit helps, whatever you want to do to help out the pirate ship. Got a $1 tier there if you want to just do that. And then merchandise down below. Got a new Michael Keaton Batman shirt that I put in there. So go ahead and do that. And as per usual, as I like to wrap up live streams, is with...
And also, I'm excited to watch the Snyder Cut because Joss Whedon sucks.
Yes, he does.
Everybody got that?
Yes, he does. All right. We will cheers, guys. Appreciate you guys sticking with us on this Friday night as per usual. And we'll talk to you later.